That little logo, it's a big deal.
Russ Rollins here. Hey, take advantage of something that's awesome here in the month of April. You've been putting it off. Do it now. Get that scan from Life Imaging FLA. Look, I don't know about you, but I want to stick around for my grandkids and my kids so they can see me every Christmas, every spring, every fall, as much as I can. And getting that scan is proactive, and you can find out if you have heart disease or not. We've had so many listeners that had heart disease, and they had it taken care of because they went to Life Imaging FLA. You should do the same thing. Pick up your cell phone and dial pound 250. Say the keywords free heart scan. There's a few minimum requirements, but it's a $699 value that is definitely worth it. Also ask about the cancer screening when you go. That is super important. It's Life Imaging FLA. Pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, say the keywords free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. Make sure you tell them that Russ Rollins and the Monster sent you to Life Imaging FLA. It is worth it.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Listen up, Orlando. Joe Rossi here for Greenway Kia. When it comes to tax time, everybody wants the biggest return. And that goes for your trade, too. At Greenway Kia, get up to $10,000 over Kelley Blue Book fair market value for your trade. Shop one of the area's largest Kia inventories at greenwaykias.com. With our Greenway all-in price, what you see online is what you pay. No games, no additional fees, just total transparency. I'm Joe Rossi, and I want to see you in a Greenway Kia.
Negative equity refinanced. Expires 5/5/26.
At Crush Yard, pickleball is just the beginning. You'll find a full restaurant and bar, arcade games, and plenty of space to hang out with friends. What starts as a few games often turns into food, drinks, and losing track of time. Play a match, grab a bite, catch up, or stay a while. Whether you're competitive, casual, or just along for the fun, there's something here for everyone. Learn more at crushYard.com.
Spring allergy season is here, and if you're like most of us, you're suffering from allergies, maybe even sinus infections. Let me guess. Itchy, watery eyes, sinus headaches, sneezing, runny nose. Aspire Allergy and Sinus can help, so you can start treating the source instead of just masking the symptoms. Aspire has helped thousands just like you with solutions that actually work. Don't spend another season being miserable. Go to AspireAllergy.com to schedule your appointment today. That's AspireAllergy.com.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here. You guys know I've renovated a few homes in my life, and I will tell you, the one thing I don't mess with is plumbing, and here's why. You make a mistake there, it could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. That is one of the main reasons I lean on my friends at Modern Plumbing Industries. Employee-owned and in business since 1975, and they can handle it all. All plumbing service, drain and sewer service, water heater services, gas services, and water treatment services, and that's just where it begins. Contact Modern Plumbing Industries today at 407-327-6000 or learn more at modernpi.com.
Think you're not the suing type? But you weren't at fault. I'm Orlando injury attorney Mo DeWitt. You didn't choose this accident, the bills, or the damage. Don't cover for someone else's mistake. Just call Mo. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-983-2077 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-983-2077. That's 800-983-2077. What do you have to lose? Call 800-983-2077. Again, 800-983-2077.
This Earful of Real Radio is sponsored by Wassey's Meat Market, the best place to buy a big green egg. Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeartRadio station. Guaranteed human. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The three best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Friday, April 17th, 2026. Lots to get to today. From you got it all wrong to a massive AI scam hits the NextDoor platform and the World Cup transit drama that just hit New Jersey, plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. C-Lane is with me.
Hello.
And so are you. You can send a dispatch over on the website. It's thenewsjunkie.com. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your messages rolling right into the studio in real time. And this never, ever, ever happens, friends.
What happened? Wait,
I'm
what's wrong, buddy?
Double checking, triple checking. We got a last minute message here. Yes, indeed. It's from the blood-sucking suits at iHeartRadio.
Oh,
Let's see what they said.
Have a great Friday, you mother.
We did it, everybody!
Okay,
Kinda.
all right.
Kinda. I mean, look, not the easiest week any of us have been through. So we'll just pat ourselves on the back that we survived and are still breathing. Still here on planet Earth and terra
I feel bad
firma.
just doing that.
In a way. But everybody enjoy yourself on a Friday as we kick into the weekend here on a show. And let's start off as we always do. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And we have two options, everybody. This is for you, C-Lane, and you folks in the chat to decide. We have two famous kissers that we could possibly open up with.
Two famous kissers?
Yeah, two famous kissers that we could possibly open up with today.
I can't even... Wait. Members of the band Kiss?
I am not saying anymore.
The only. I mean, there's not a lot of famous kisses I could think of in my lifetime. There's the Britney Spears Madonna one.
Okay.
That everybody freaked out about.
Could be.
I have a feeling it's neither of those people.
Well,
what do you?
There is two famous kissers. One is the man and one is the woman. All right. Who do we choose to start off the show today? Do we choose the man or the woman in the famous kissers category for our starts?
I'll vote ladies first.
All right, C-Lane's going to go with the lady. We'll see what you guys say over on the chat side of thing here momentarily.
Somebody said C-Lane and Lube.
That'd be great. That was a classic kiss.
Also, it is always hilarious to me when people try to spell Lube's name because nobody's even close.
What they come up with over there?
Lubay.
No, that's not. No, that's not it. No, I think there's a J in there somewhere. Isn't there? Yeah. That's what I.
That's what throws people off. You know.
All right, here we go. Let's start off with the female side of this. The woman who went viral for being on the Coldplay Kiss Cam is back in a clip that's going viral today. And I got to tell you, I have some problems with this, and we'll address. I guess the woman who was on the Coldplay Kiss Cam, where Chris Martin from Coldplay was like, oh, look at this couple over here. And then they were like making out and hanging out with each other, and they ducked down.
They call it the Jumbotron song, and it's like something that they do at concerts where they find people in the audience to highlight, and then I think Chris Martin sings a little bit about them or something.
Right.
Weird.
Well, the Coldplay lady who was fired from her job and was in a huge scandal afterwards gave a speech, and the press was there, and here's what happened.
That was a great speech. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Has Chris Martin ever reached out to you?
No, never did.
Would you appreciate if he did?
Yep.
Okay.
Would have been great.
Would you still go to a concert?
No. Coldplay or any
get Coldplay.
No, I'm all set.
All set.
Yeah.
All right, so she said, the guy goes, has Chris Martin ever reached out to you about what happened? And she goes, no. And then they go, well, would you like him to? And she goes, yeah. And I'm thinking, what are your expectations here on planet Earth with the rest of us that you thought that Chris Martin from Coldplay might check in on you after you were caught cheating in a cheating scandal, let's remember, on the big screen at a concert, the most public possible event you could be at? I mean, the idea that you go from that to like, hey, why didn't you check in on me, Chris Martin?
This is TMZ trying to create plot lines here, because I'm sure, now one of them's going to see Chris Martin at LAX and be like, hey, how come you never checked in on the girl from the Kiss Cam? She says she doesn't want to go to Coldplay concerts anymore.
Right.
Like, he cares. What does he care? Okay.
There's like a 0% chance that he would ever pick up the phone and talk to her. Cheryl on YouTube says, like, he should apologize that you got caught. Exactly. Like, what a weird expectation from anybody out there who would be like, well, the guy from Coldplay should call this poor woman who was involved in all of this, and her life was ruined by all. Exactly. To everybody saying it wasn't their fault. Yes, of course. There you go. The other person who is, I would say, a famous kisser, though, I mean, I don't know how much people would associate this with famous kisser, is Mr. Spider-Man himself. Tom Holland was the other option.
How
for
is
the start
he
of
a
the show.
famous kisser?
It's Spider-Man. Spider-Man, famous kisser. They don't. Every Spider-Man, each one of them, doesn't matter who they are, they get one saucy kissing scene in the Spider-Man movies.
I guess I haven't watched all the Spider-Man movies. I know the Tobey Maguire upside down in the rain kiss.
That was the most famous of them all. Yeah. And then for Tom Holland, it was the kiss with Zendaya at one point in time.
All right.
And I don't know if it was raining for them. It's raining a lot of times. Yeah, there's a lot of times when it is raining in these Spider-Man movies when they get to the kiss scene. But not this one.
There's something about the making out in the rain that seems like romantic and sexy at a certain age, and then you get older and you go, nope, let's inside.
No,
let's
what
go
are we
inside.
Thinking? Yeah. What am I, 12? I don't want to do this. Over to Tom Holland for the other option. You always know I'm going to play it. Here he is, and I wonder how this is affecting Publix today. Let's listen in. Here's television movie star, I guess maybe just movie star, Tom Holland.
Publix for the first time, and I'm going to try this pub sub. Beero is now available in our variety pack at Publix, so I'm going to see which beer pairs with the sandwich.
Wait, what? Tom Holland, I guess he has a beer line, and it's being launched at Publix. So Tom Holland went to Publix for a pub sub.
And he's going to see which beer pairs with his pub sub whilst in the driver's seat of a car?
He's not from America, okay?
But drunk driving is illegal everywhere.
He doesn't necessarily understand all of our laws, I guess. But yeah, he is in the driver's seat of an SUV as he's trying to pair a pub sub from Publix, Tom Holland, with his beer that I had not heard of until this, so at least that was smart.
Wrap it nicely.
Pub sub bite going down. Solid bite, not like the McDonald's president guy.
I don't know what this sandwich is called, but that is delicious. Oh, I think I'd pair that with the pills.
The pills?
Like traditional continental lager with a sandwich.
Buddy, I can't understand you just generically. When you have a mouthful of pub sub, I have no idea what you're saying, Tom Holland. Like, you already got that British accent that I forget about until I hear you talk. And there goes the rest of it when you take a bite of it.
Does he act with an American accent? Is he one of those British actors that can just
Spider-Man? He does, right?
I don't know. I've not seen Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Oh my God!
Just told you that.
It.
You get with it. I just told you that.
Half of it. Well, if you haven't seen it, he does do the regular American accent, I believe. JDB on Twitch says it's not the driver's seat. He's in a British vehicle. The driver's seat is on the right. Oh yeah, he's in one of those famous British vehicles at a Publix. He's in a Publix, dude. He's in the driver's side of the vehicle. Okay. Is there a British Publix that I'm not aware of?
I am not aware of. Now, here's the thing, and people are saying to me that it's a non-alcoholic beer.
Is it?
It is. However, it does say on the can contains less than 0.5% alcohol by volume, which I still would argue, I think, could get you at least an open container violation.
Really? Oh, it probably could, yeah, because there is some alcohol in there, yeah. I've never heard of this, but maybe that'll pop up for his drink a little bit. Yeah, non-alcoholic beer called Beer O. Oh, that Beer O like zero. That's probably what.
That makes a lot of sense.
I see it all now, Tom Holland.
And how did it take that long to name the NA beer that?
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing, but congratulations. He enjoyed the pub sub. For those of you outside of this area here, that means the southeastern United States of America, I'll have you know that our big famous grocery store chain is Publix, and they are famous for nothing more than their pub subs, public subs. And then, of course, beyond that, they're also famous for their chicken tender pub subs, the whole website for it and everything. But there you go to start us off here.
Another thing, Publix is going to come up again in the show today during This Week in Florida, because there's another thing that they got a little famous for that's, I think some people find it slightly controversial. I don't.
What's that?
But we'll dive into it. It's the hurricane cake.
Okay. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. I'll wait till we get to that. But I don't find that controversial myself. I know we have so many delivery drivers who listen to the show. And number one, thank you. I appreciate that you take the time to listen to the show every day. If we can get you through your day, that makes my day worthwhile. But I have a question for you based on a video that's going viral today with well over 2 million views, and this young woman in the back of her Amazon truck. So Amazon delivery drivers, you can stay anonymous if you want. You can use the tips email, tips@thenewsjunkie.com, or you could just send a dispatch so we can hear you or even see you maybe. And tell me if this is your experience too, what we think about this lady. Here she is in the back of her Amazon delivery truck.
Are y'all crazy?
All right.
Hold up. Are y'all crazy?
She's showing us the screen of, I guess, the device that they have as Amazon employees. This is the thing that they scan the photos on, where they prove that they've done the delivery.
Oh, I've never seen this. I wonder if we're allowed to see this. Like, I wonder if that's something Amazon wants to keep, on the low.
I've never seen it either. She's showing us her side of it, like what the Amazon drivers see. And it says work remaining 300 stops. So she's saying like she has to do 300 stops for the day as an Amazon driver. It says 89 multi-location stops. I'm only going to take away the obvious from that. I'm going to think that there's 89 locations where they go and they knock out multiple things at one time, like on a street or something.
I would think that maybe you say one of your stops is here at iHeart HQ. But we're on one floor. And there's 4 floors here. There's a bunch of other businesses. A multi-location stop might mean like, hey, we got to deliver stuff up to the 4th floor to iHeart. We got to deliver a package to whoever's downstairs.
So are all those stops? Because if all those are stops, then that's a little bit less. Because it says 300 stops, 89 multi-location stops, 421 locations. Okay, so it actually goes the other way. 421 locations. And 524 packages. That's what she's showing that this woman, this Amazon driver, has to do for the day. She shows all of them on the map. And then shows the truck full of all of the deliveries. It is like basically, this is what I have to do for the day. I've got to get all of these done, and it's too much. Amazon is overworking us. So Amazon drivers, tell us, is this normal? Is she exaggerating? Does it seem crazier than it is? What else can you tell us about this app of yours? I want to know everything we can know from your perspective, because a lot of people are talking about that video today, and you'll probably see it out there. Let us know, Amazon drivers, tips@thenewsjunkie.com, tips@thenewsjunkie.com, or send in a dispatch over on thenewsjunkie.com. All right, a ton of stuff to get into on a very busy Friday on the show. We got some information coming in from the Mo DeWitt camp about how they're going to help you out today. All right, a little surprise for you coming up in a little bit. We'll work that in. Also, an AI scam that is so far over the line, I think we have to talk about this so we prevent these people from taking your money. I think we have to talk about this. And for that reason, it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Klausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Klausman Law. KlausmanLaw.com.
The off-ramp still blocked from 429 northbound to Schofield Road. Look out for emergency crews still on the roadways in that area. I-4 is still going to give you trouble eastbound before World Drive. Traffic slowing down. You're going to get caught up in delays on I-4 between Osceola Parkway and Apopka Vineland Road. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report.
Hello, welcome to the show. Don't forget about the bus. I'm not sure. I think we'll just do a quick hit there in the third segment. He's out at some event. Go check out his latest text there and see what you think. Oh, he said we could send him a link. I'm pretty sure I have Zoom on my phone. We can do it that way. Okay. I'll make him a link. Okay, cool. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome behind the scenes. How are you today? Hey, Sean, why are you gay? Why are you gay? Why are you gay? TNJ chat, hello. Now complete with animated GIFs for redemption. Coming into the studio on the studio screen. Can you see? Can you barely see? Maybe. YouTube and Twitch, hello. Welcome in. You know, I saw somebody raging on a Facebook post. And I think this was the day before yesterday or the day before yesterday. And somebody was raging on a Facebook post. And they were like, suck it. This is what you deserve. This is what you get for stealing Dano's job. And you deserve this. And I'm like, what is this guy on about? And I go, oh, I think this guy thinks that WZZR, our station in West Palm, actually flipped. Which, as far as I know, it hasn't. It's fine. But he's grave dancing, and he celebrated just a little bit too early. As far as I know, West Palm Beach friends, let me know. But I think the station's still alive and well down there. Strangely enough, you guys might think, like, well, wouldn't you know, Sean? If we're on a station, we'll talk to them ahead of time. We'll record promos for them. I'll talk to the program director. We'll do so much stuff. And then they'll launch the show on the station. And when they take us off a station, they're like, whoop, pulling a plug. Ignore that weirdo, Sean. I thought he was a goof. It was funny.
That's a great way to go. Other people have found out that they had to get it taken care of. So you be the next one to do it. Pick up your cell phone.
The posts on the TNJ Facebook page have been a train wreck. People are dumb. The News Junkie Facebook group there's a lot. There's people with a big penchant for drama, so they like all that stuff and they want to whip things up. And I don't really care or engage all that much. But I just saw that one guy, and he was like, hey, suck it, you deserve it. You know, the station fired you. And I'm like, well, you're celebrating a little too quick.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes, and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just...
Cat Butthole says, WCZR is still around. They removed the show. The Love Doctors when Jimmy retired and Dana was fired. Replaced the show from the News Junkie or with the News Junkie. Basically, we're on afternoons, though, now. The fan fiction is fucking hilarious, though. Love that. When people will be like, here's what really happened. Now, keep in mind, I have zero insight as to what's going on. But let me tell you the real dirt. Here's what really went down. And I read it and I always laugh because it's always so wrong, you know? Like, not even remotely close. It's not Amazon's fault that people order stuff they don't use? True. All right, here we go. We're coming back, everybody. Coming back.
That's the number of people who take the stairs over an escalator. I'm Michael Easter. Twice a week on my podcast 2%, I give you practical advice to live a more meaningful life.
Don't ask for easy. Don't demand easy. Put yourself through some hardships, and you will come out on the other side a happier, more fulfilled, healthier person.
Listen to 2% on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search 2%. That's TWO% to start listening.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Now back to the most viral newsroom on planet Earth. This is...
Just a moment. Hello, welcome to the show. So good to have you here. Welcome to the world's most viral newsroom. You can learn more about the show by going to the website, which is thenewsjunkie.com. A lot of drama on social media this week. You know, it's nothing new. There's always this kind of stuff. A lot of people talk about whatever it is that's going on in their worlds on social media.
Twitter, y'all see this?
A lot of people talk about the show on social media. There's millions
Not much
of people
this
all over the
week,
place.
but yeah, usually.
You're right. And on a week like this, my favorite thing is the levels of fan fiction that people will ratchet it up to.
Ooh.
It's always like, the only thing I do read from time to time is I'll kick up something that's like a big paragraph of a post about the show, because somebody will always be like, look, here's the real dirt. I know what's going on with the News Junkie. And they'll give you like a whole paragraph and you'll go, what a dumb. This person knows nothing about nothing. But it's kind of fun to read sometimes. And, you know, I'll get roped in.
Like, it's very interesting. Some of you are very creative.
Like, sometimes it'll be like, actually, C-Lane is the one who is responsible for iHeart cuts and whatever it is. It's so outrageous and outlandish. And it's kind of fun because you don't realize just how bad a lot of that stuff is until you're involved in whatever people are talking about. That's what I told you guys before. You don't realize how dumb the media is until somebody does a news story about something that you actually know a lot about. So, like, let's say you're like a high-lie expert. You're that guy. You're the one. You're the high-lie expert. Then all of a sudden the media writes an article about high-lie, the sport. And you go, wow, they are dumb. Mm-hmm. These people have no idea what's going on.
Well, a little bit that's been going on with this hookers in Hopetown kind of thing, because I think people that aren't familiar with the area are just taking some of the story at face value. And it has me very confused when you say they're going from Hopetown to Elbow Key. And I was like, Hopetown is part of Elbow Key. Like it's the same island. It's the same land mass.
That's a great example, C-Lane, because the people who wrote that had no idea.
Right.
They had no clue.
Like they needed to be, at least because of my experience with the area, a little more exact about just where this boat was going from and to. Like, okay, it's a boat going to another boat. That seems a little more accurate. But it's like saying you're taking a boat from Sanford to Orlando. It's like saying, you know, it just seems like you don't need it.
Right, but people don't know unless they're involved in these things very directly, I would think. And Ryan gets it right over on YouTube. He says, loud, dumb, and wrong, oh my. Oh, yeah, it's just an endless sea of stuff like that in the world every day. And in social media, it's no different. I was talking about there was somebody on Facebook somewhere, and it was a big, long, like, effort post from this person. And they were like, F you, Sean. F you. You took Dano's job, and now the station is gone in West Palm, and they dumped your ass. And I go, well, sometimes we don't hear about this, but I'm pretty sure we haven't been dumped by that station yet. I looked and I checked, and I'm like, nah, we're still on. You might be right down the road, cowboy, but for now you're dumb, wrong, and loud. All right, for now you're in that category. I just love when people post with that level of confidence.
WZZR, today's country. That's
No, you're a liar. You're a liar. You never know. No, it's a great station in West Palm Beach. We love them. We appreciate them. And they called on the demise of it a little too fast. I just, on a day when there is uncertainty, am always going to do this, just so you know. Like, if I think there's a chance one of our affiliates is going to flip, we got to be the final word, just so you guys know, on a Dallas station that we were on. We were on a station in Dallas called The Freak, and it was a great station, really, like a really cool thing that they were doing in a major market.
It was a fun try. I mean, I think they had all the right ideas. They had a very fun, they had a great fan base. Those people with the Freak were fun as hell, and then the company went, we're not even going to give it a year, and we're going to flip it back to the Eagle. And here we are.
So we were the last show that was being broadcast on the last day of 97.1 The Freak, and I had heard that the shoe was going to drop.
R.I.P. your freaking traffic.
So I just start burning it all down, and I'm like, hey, it's the last day. Subscribe to the podcast. Forget this day, just burn it all down on the last day. So that's kind of what I was aiming for, just in case all hell broke loose in West Palm. But loud, dumb, wrong guy, I think you got it wrong on this one, at least for now. You might be able to come back and circle around with the celebration. But it's a great station that lives on for the moment. Okay, this is pretty funny to me because everybody in the world could have seen this coming, but I love it. Let's go back to this scandal that's been playing out for a little while for the Washington Redskins. If you haven't been following, the Washington Redskins...
They're the Commanders now.
Well, hang on. We're going on a journey here, C-Lane. The Washington Redskins were wrapped up in all of that stuff in the 2020s, and where things were getting their names changed, and we were going after like Aunt Jemima and all of the stuff. Pancake companies were having to change logos. You get it. All that was happening. And the Washington Redskins were taking a lot of heat for that. And so they buckled and they go, we're going to change our name. And then the most hilarious thing that was straight out of a Saturday Night Live skit, they changed their name to the Washington Football Team.
Which, by the way, I think if you were smart, especially if you lived in the area, collecting that merch would have been a good move. Because years from now, we're going to look back on it and be like, remember that time that they called it just the Washington Football Team? What a stupid name.
Yeah, I love that they did that. And then they said, well, this is just a placeholder name. And now we're going to our real name. We're going to be the Washington Commanders. And so they became the Washington Commanders. And they put all of their information out there, and people were like, oh, it's not as good. You should have just stayed with the Washington Redskins, whatever. People were split on this. Some people liked it, I'm sure. But now they're in trouble again. This story from USA Today says, a new Washington Commanders logo featuring a spear has drawn criticism from Native American organizations and prominent people in Native American communities. The team posted images of a new alternate logo on social media accounts. They show a spear intertwined with the team's W on a helmet. The W is their primary logo. The Washington Commanders' decision to update their logo is disappointing and inappropriate, to say the least, this group said. The Association on American Indian Affairs. I don't know who they are or what's going on. But that's what the group is called that was complaining. It's time to stop repeating this cycle and listen to Native peoples who have been clear, consistent, and unwavering on this issue. We are not your mascot. For the record, that's not true at all. It's not clear, consistent, and unwavering. This is one group and what they think. As far as I know, the Seminole tribe is kind of thrilled with FSU.
Uh-huh.
And the Seminole tribe have done real well as a result. I don't know who the hell these people are, but some of the groups of Native Americans are on board with this, and they don't really mind this stuff. But I guess they launched out this new logo, and it's got the helmet, and it's got a spear. And even just the spear, they were like, no. Hold on, let me see if I can bring it up for the streamers. Washington Commanders.
I'm surprised that they're even getting near anything Native American related.
It's just not really, though. Look at this. Is that, like, does that even strike you? It's just an arrow. It's like a
That's
spear.
what I think. But I don't look at logos and try to find everything wrong with them, you know?
It's because all they want is something that's not just a letter on the side of their helmet. They're like, please help us out. We were the Washington football team for a handful of years.
I would be remiss in attacking this story without also pointing out a faux pas that they made. Let's see, what year was this? 2022. This actually, the tweet came out on my birthday, which I think was an NFL football Sunday, because outside of the Washington Commanders game, they had an official team truck selling official team merchandise. And one of the things was a coffee mug that had the Washington W that you see there, no spear, and it was inside the outline of the state of Washington, which was a big mess up. Because you know, the Washington Commanders are not in the state of Washington. They're in Washington, D.C.
Who's running things over there?
That is
gotta get it together.
Another piece of merchandise that I think would have been highly collectible, because as soon as somebody called them out on their stuff, they swiftly removed these from the shelves and never sold them again.
Black Mark on YouTube says, if I lose my Chiefs name at Arrowhead, I'm going to flip TF out. I think you're good for now. I mean, look, again, I think this is probably one fairly fringe group for my guessing, and most people don't really care, because this says new alternate logo. It's not even the main logo for the Washington Commanders. It says spear and W interweave at their centers, a powerful joining of past and present. And it says the spearhead symbolizes those leading the fight, a design that captures the forward-focused spirit of the commander, a leader of warriors. And then they show the new design for the commanders on the helmet. I just think it's a message where you just got to, here's what you need to do. No matter what you're doing in the world, no matter what you have going on, if you're creating stuff and putting things out there, just sit there and take a moment and go, what's the right thing to do and what's the wrong thing to do? Once you decide what is the morally right thing to do and the decent thing to do that thing and don't look back. Don't worry about everybody chirping about everything, because trust me, once they start chirping at you, if you apologize, they're just going to keep chirping over and over and over and over again until you do whatever next thing they want you to do, right? Like it's all insane. And so to me, I don't have an issue. If you do, you can let us know. But and some people thinking this is going to be another round of teams and stuff having to change their names. I don't think so. I think mostly people, and I could see in some of the chat comments, people are over these kind of things. And now it's just the folks left who are like, I can still complain about this and get a headline or two. So is there a response? Sure. But it's from like 5 people. And, and it's not a representative thing for everybody who's Native American to begin with. Give us your thoughts, though. Go over to the website, which is thenewsjunkie.com right now. All right. We are going to get into the story I teased before the break really quickly here. Did we hit that segment? I just
you did.
Okay, good. I forget sometimes. I'm like,
you just did it. You did.
I know.
The thing just happened.
And you know how memory works on a show like this. The
very poorly. Very poorly.
Yeah, the moment the words escape my mouth, I'm like, wait, what did we just do the last segment about? But this is what I teased before the break. So I do want to pay this off real quick. And this is about an AI scam that's making the rounds. I think this is so messed up, and I want to prevent anybody from being scammed by this.
And you said it's on NextDoor, right?
It's on NextDoor, but it's on social media outlets. But NextDoor seems to be a big target because it's for people who have lost their dogs. And I might be wrong on this, but you guys could probably back me up. I feel like a lot of people tend to go to NextDoor when they lose their pets.
NextDoor and the Ring Neighbors app seems to be kind of like the Neighbors app is like, why are there cops at this intersection? There's a suspicious looking person in my neighborhood and I lost my dog, or I have to get rid of my dog. Will somebody adopt him?
Right. And in these cases, I think that makes sense. You're talking to the people right around you. You want to get your dog back. I can't even imagine. It sucks so bad to like have an animal that's lost. But that's why this is so gross and wrong. And the AI scam that's going around is targeting people who lose their dogs and post it online. Here's an example from Channel 6. An emotional reunion unfolded in Deltona, Florida, after a family was reunited with their beloved dog, Archer, days after he went missing. And after they say they were targeted by a disturbing scam involving artificial intelligence.
Archer's a great name for a dog.
Lytton Cousins said the ordeal began late Saturday night after returning home from an Orlando Solar Bears game. When we got home, usually the dogs are there to welcome you, but this time only one dog came instead of 3. The family quickly realized their 11-year-old Beagle mix, Archer, was missing. And they spent hours searching the neighborhood. So this is what we all do, right? Like we all go out there in the neighborhood, we look around for the dog, et cetera, et cetera. Then you start posting on social media. You go, here's a photograph of my dog. I want you to keep an eye out for it. Hell, we'll give you a reward if you could find it. And this is where the scam comes in. The next morning, they received a phone call from somebody claiming to have found Archer. The caller said the dog had been hit by a car and needed emergency surgery. The first thing we were thinking is, oh my God, somebody found him. Then we need to do emergency surgery. Do we have authorization? And we said, yes, obviously, right? I mean, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Things took a turn when the caller demanded more than $2,700 for the procedure and insisted the payment be made using gift cards. The family asked for proof that they had the dog. And he sent us a picture, and there it was. My dog laying on the operating table. And what they did was they're taking the photos that people post of their dogs when they're missing them, and they're putting them through AI.
Oh, gross.
And they're saying, take this dog now and AI it as if it's on like the operating table at a veterinary clinic. And then people are utilizing that to go, we got your dog, but we need a payment from you right now. Heroin Bob saying, man, F the people who do this. There's a couple of people on my terrible human beings list right now. Anybody who engages in this, you are a piece of, I'll have to stop myself. You are an absolutely, you're human trash personified if you're trying to go after people and take their money who have missing dogs. But they're utilizing the technology to rope people in. It was like, it looked convincing at first. They said his fur looked a little bit different, and there was like an X-ray in the background, but they went for it, you know? I guess later that afternoon, a neighbor told the family he saw a woman pick up Archer after he got loose in the yard. Days later, the same woman with the vehicle returned, dropping him off at the house. So they got the dog back is the good news. But you got to be aware of this. And I want you to do something for me this weekend, all right? I want you to go tell your parents and older people in your life and people who are not very savvy about this. Hey, if your pet goes missing, please remember that this is something that people can and will do. It's disgusting, but they'll take the missing animal photo. They will use AI and they will pretend like they have your animal, and they'll try to get thousands of dollars out of you for vet bills. Just make people aware. That's how we shut down these scams at the source. I hope you'll do that this weekend. Tell somebody you heard it here. All right, quick break. When we come back, we got a little message coming across from the Just Call Mo folks. I think you're going to like this. It's going to be real nice on a Friday for some of you. And we'll get into what it is, because that's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Music Weekends are classic alternative. Classic alternative this weekend on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with the...
Hello. Welcome to the show. I have to vent a little bit. I have to vent a little bit, if you don't mind. YouTube, Twitch, TNJ chat. Here's what I have to vent about. Not just these scumbags who are taking AI and pretending that people's dogs have been found and bilking money out of them in this scam. But a story that I've been avoiding, that I'm going to continue to avoid, because I think it's one of the most disgusting stories I've ever seen in my life. I'll briefly tell you it's the FedEx story. All right? And some of you will know the FedEx story. You'll know what I'm talking about when I say that. Hello? What you doing?
About to start stretching.
You're going to start stretching? All right.
You have something.
What is that?
It's helping you out with that energy bill, lowering your...
It's some kind of
You're
sploon.
just gonna have a wet mark. Do you want me to change your shirt?
Okay, I'm not changing my shirt.
Okay, well, there you go.
Is it better?
Yeah.
Now it seems really obvious.
Well, don't stop. You're stretching the fabric.
You can't stretch fabric.
Yeah, well, there's ripples there now.
No, there's not.
You
Did I
just-
fix it?
Yeah, it's not there anymore.
You know what? This is what you came to do, to heckle me?
No. Did you want me to tell you that something was there?
Yes, I did actually.
Would you rather see the mummy tonight or tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night. But I do want to see the mummy.
The second beef season doesn't have anything to do with the first one.
I know, it's just like the same kind of universe. Yeah. All right, see you later.
I'll be back.
Bye. God, now I feel like I got splooge on me. Can you guys see the splooge? I've been not telling her about the FedEx story, just for the record. I tweeted about this yesterday, and my opinion on this FedEx guy in this court trial, after hearing what I heard yesterday, and I've heard some fucked up things. After hearing what I heard that guy did in that FedEx story yesterday, and what happened in that courtroom and what those jurors had to hear, I will tell you, even though I'm against the death penalty, I would be fully on board with the parents of that little girl being handed custody of that man and being able to do whatever the hell they wanted to with him. As slow, as fast, as fiery, as vulgar, as grotesque as they wanted for as long as they wanted. Just wanted to get that out there. Not a death penalty supporter, but the family of that guy. Yeah, and Bird Nerd saying the poor courtroom having to hear that audio. Okay. I tweeted about it if you want to see some more details, but mostly stay away from the story. It shows you how depraved human beings can be and how disgusting people can be. I don't want to shine that out there and give it too much light, but man, I would be for giving the family of that girl custody of this guy and saying, whoop. Vicky says, I'll share that news. I go to our ladies group here in the neighborhood. It's mostly retired women, but there's definite time set aside to share news of scams we've heard of. That is a great idea. Legitimately a great idea. If there's gatherings and older people are congregating for events and stuff, to have a weekly thing to talk about all the scams is genius. All right, we're coming back in just a second. Here we go. All right, stand by.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
You need 3 Tallahassees between you and the car ahead to stay safe. Pick a landmark. When they pass it, count 1 Tallahassee, 2 Tallahassee, 3 Tallahassee. If you get there before 3, Give them more space. Learn more at drivesmartflorida.org.
This Earful of Real Radio is sponsored by Wassy's Meat Market, the best place to buy a big green egg.
Forever at the crossroads between viral news and total chaos.
Viral Newsroom. Learn more about the show over on thenewsjunkie.com. Go over to the website, thenewsjunkie.com. Appreciate you hanging out with us today. Appreciate all the emails and the dispatches, and we'll work in some of those along the journey today. One thing I wanted to get into, I just want to throw this out for all of the people who are getting involved in this, because I think we need to have, just like we need to have conversations with our older friends. And somebody was just saying after the last story being about this AI scam, which is so horrific, like it's horrific, where people decide, hey, what we're going to do is when people post their missing pets on social media platforms, we're going to take photos of the pets, use AI to put that pet inside a vet's operating room and tell them we found the animal, but it's been hit by a vehicle and they need to send us a couple $1,000s right now. The idea that people could scoop up money like that and fall asleep at night, I wish all the worst nightmares upon you. I do. I truly do. I wish you the worst if that's what you're doing. But somebody in chat said, yeah, we have a gathering that happens, like a weekly or monthly gathering where a bunch of elderly people from the neighborhood are hanging out. And there's a time that we set aside to go over all of the AI scams and different scams that are going on targeting older people. And I thought, that's genius. That's actually a really good service. And I'm glad you're doing that. For old people, we need to tell them about scams, protect them. They're the most likely to get taken advantage of. For young people, I know some of you might think this sounds too simple, but we need to tell them some pretty obvious advice about finances. When I see a headline like this, let me bring the story up here. Here it is. This is real, an actual story. And it says, more Americans are buying groceries using buy now, pay later. Okay, buy now, pay later. To buy groceries, not to buy a PlayStation 5, not to buy, anything else crazy that you just can't afford to pay for all at once, not to buy the treadmill you were looking at on Amazon, but instead to buy groceries. It says Americans are increasingly using buy now to pay later for everyday expenses like groceries.
Didn't we have a story not too long ago where you could use Affirm or one of those buy now pay later or payment plans on like Chipotle?
I think so. Yeah. You're like the craziness of saying, "Hey, I'm going to do the buy now pay later," and then somebody goes, "Oh, what you getting football tickets or you going to a concert? It's way too expensive." No, groceries. And then they just start piling up these debts all over the place. So there's a lot of people who are relying on these. And if you've used these, I want to hear from you today. So tell me what you've used buy now, pay later for, and if it's been a good experience for you. But I do have some information we wanted to get out there. Our friend from the JustCallMo.com family is with us, John Busdecker. John, can you hear us? Are you there?
Hey.
There he is. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So you got a nice little surprise for people here on a Friday to celebrate the weekend if they're listening to the show locally. And tell everybody what's going on so you can hook them up with something for a Friday.
So we are at Doughboys in Oviedo, and we are giving away free chicken parm in honor of National Chicken Parm Day, which is actually Sunday. We're celebrating early. So Mo is buying chicken parm for anybody that shows up to Doughboys in Oviedo from noon to 2 p.m. while supplies last.
All right. So if they make their way out, right now to this place, hold on, we have a bad connection with him. I think.
He's trying to get the Starbucks Wi-Fi right now.
Yeah, he's hijacking the free Wi-Fi in the neighborhood. All right, one more time. So right now, there's a setup for National Chicken Parm Day, which is it's like Sunday or something. But if you want some free, delicious food.
It's Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, to celebrate this before Sunday and get some, that your week was a little rough. Certainly mine was. I could use a chicken parm for sure, right? So if you want to do this, and is Mo picking up the tab? Who's paying for this? Oh, God.
Mo's picking up the tab, yeah.
Okay. All right. Where can people go, Busdecker? Where can they go to get this again?
They have to go to Doughboys Pizza in Oviedo. Do not go to the Longwood location. Go to Doughboys in Oviedo, and we'll be here.
All right, Doughboys in Oviedo. Thank you, Busdecker. There he is. He's out there right now. I'll write it down.
He's doing the Lord's work there, giving out the free chicken parms. I had some of that chicken parm yesterday. It was very good.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Did they bring it out to the station?
Even me and a coworker who will go unnamed may have had some 5 hours old chicken parm, and it was still very good. Yes, sir.
Still fine. Yeah. Look, it's Friday. You've worked hard. I don't want you buy now, pay latering food. I want you to go get it on Mo's dime.
And
he's
pay
got
never.
a bunch of money. He gets those big checks, so he's got some money coming in. Doughboys in Oviedo is the place where you can go do this. Let Mo pay for lunch for you. A chicken parm, that'll fill you up for a while. Rachel says, damn it, I wish I didn't just stuff my face. My fault for telling you too late, really. My fault for telling you too late in this case. But thank you, Busdecker. Everybody go out there. I think you said you got 2 hours to go out to this location, Doughboys in Oviedo. Get lunch on Mo as they celebrate a little bit early for National Chicken Parmesan Day. Mo's big on that.
Yeah. We'll see you later, Bus.
There he is. All right. Thank you, Bus.
Guys.
There he goes. Mo is going to join us today, but he's in Vegas, so I don't know what he got to last night. I don't know what happened. You know how he could be in Las Vegas. You've seen Moses DeWitt on the move in Las Vegas. He turns into a different character.
It's not important.
Not important. It's never important in Vegas anyways, but he'll like slide a pair of sunglasses on or something just to let you know it's a whole different human being you're dealing with at that time. Mm-hmm. But he'll pay the tab today, so go out there, Doughboys in Oviedo, get free lunch over at that location for the National Chicken Parm Day. All right, a couple of things to get to here. Let's see what we got. Tipsofthenewsjunkie.com. Kristen emails the show. She says, about that cruise case you were talking about yesterday, I've got the attorney on this who is supposed to be maybe in like the last minute of the show today joining us. So we'll see. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But Kristen's talking about the attorney that just beat Carnival Cruise Line. And Carnival Cruise Line paid out $300,000 to this lady who had 15 shots of tequila. Then she blacked out.
Maybe if we get a chance to ask him, he'll tell us. I don't know. Do you think this is one of his bigger settlements? Because he said in the video he sues cruise lines for a living. He is a lawyer who predominantly picks up cases against cruise lines, and that's his bag.
Yeah, I mean, there's a decent amount of money. Maybe he's gotten more before. But Kristen emails about that particular case where the woman didn't blame herself. She blamed the cruise line for giving her too many shots of tequila and her blacking out on the ship and hurting herself. Kristen says, hey, Sean, just wanted to mention in case you do get to talk to that cruise suing attorney, something I hadn't seen before. It looks like the jury found Carnival 60% liable. In my opinion, that makes a pretty big difference in the headline. It's still an astounding verdict, and I hope Carnival wins on appeal so they don't F with my drink package because I'm a shareholder. Okay? Well, for both of those reasons, really. Anyway, I thought I'd mention it. She says, Kristen, thank you for the email. I didn't see that. I was wondering if there was any twists in this and like anything that would make it make more sense. But she's saying they said they were 60% liable.
Does that mean that if they had found Carnival 100% liable, then he would have gotten her even more money?
Possibly. We'll put that on the list for Mo. Because I haven't run into those kind of situations before. We'll see what we can make out of that. Thank you for the email. Tipsofthenewsjunkie.com. Yours is coming in as well. If you want to be anonymous, put that right up on top of the email. It's easy enough to do. Big thanks to everybody who hung out with us last night on a brand new secret show. That will be released today by 5 p.m. All right, 5 p.m. the new Secret Show will be posted, and it was an absolute doozy. Big thanks to Snafu for the gifted sub over there on thenewsjunkie.com. You can always subscribe on the website or gift subs to other people who are hanging out with the show right now. Do that at thenewsjunkie.com. A lot of people responded to the buy now, pay later thing. I mean, for me, it's like, I'm not coming down on you, by the way. If you use Klarna or Affirm, I've used them before, and some of them are useful. So let's say you're going to buy something, you don't want to pay for it all at once, and you can knock it into some payments with, not too bad of an interest setup if you pay it off quickly. That's fine. But sometimes people would just go, oh, you don't want real money? Oh, I can just give you buy now, pay later money? Ha, fine. Later me will deal with that. And then you start stacking up all of these financial issues.
After I go to the casino, I'll pay this off.
Right. Yeah. You're hanging out with Mo at the casino. Next thing you know, there's a lot of people who end up doing this.
I can't hang out with Moses at the casino.
No, he sits at
different tables than I do.
C-Lane's at the Hooters casino at the $2 a hand
Hell
table.
Yeah. Time of my life.
Mo's at some place with white marble columns and a dress code. It's like even there. The only place in Vegas where you probably can't smoke. All right, quick break. When we come back, we'll hear from you. We'll work in those dispatches. The stock market is going nuts. Things are going crazy for the World Cup. I'm very, very confused as to what's happening there, but it's super interesting. And another issue, I hate to say it, but on a plane, and we'll see what happened there. Woo! That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
The off-ramps reopened from 429 northbound to Schofield Road. That crash has been cleared up. Out in the Palm Coast, there's a serious accident. 2 left lanes are blocked northbound on I-90.
Stand by, folks. Stand by. Got something for you in just a moment.
Still going to give you some trouble. Slowdowns before World Drive and delays between Osceola Parkway and Apopka Vineland Road. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Folks, I'll tell you, I almost freaked out last night. Almost freaked out. And there's one particular reason for it. I'm sitting downstairs and I go, it doesn't feel as cool as it normally feels in my house. And I looked over and I saw that warning sign on my Nest thermostat. And I said, no, not a problem with my air conditioner. I realized I'm fine. We got Mills Air. They'll help us out and they'll get this all fixed. The techs at Mills Air, they're not spun by the problem that you have with your air conditioner. They've handled it a whole bunch of times and they've handled it successfully. They're going to handle it for you today. So that's why when there's a problem with your AC, you call the company that's honest, the company that's fair, the company that's locally owned, locally operated, and the company that's going to help you out and not charge you more than they need to. 407-277-1159 for Mills Air. That's Mills Air at 407-277-1159. There's a reason why everybody will tell you they're the best. It's because they are, and they're fair, and they're fast, and they get the job done right every time. 407-277-1159. Hello. Welcome to the show. I have an awkward question for you. Awkward question for you, chat. This is going to be a real confession moment. How many of you in chat right now have ever given an honest-to-God confession in a church? How many of you have given an honest-to-God confession in a church? I ask this because the next story that's exploding right now, getting a lot of attention, is about something that happened with a confession with a priest. And I want to know a couple of things. Is it common
And is it like you've seen it depicted in TV and in the movies? Johnny says, I have. Cat Butthole says, I was an altar boy at a Catholic school, so I have thousands of times? Wow. Yes, I have grew up Catholic, and it's very weird. Okay, more of you than I anticipated so far. I'm not Catholic, so never to someone else. I gave a confession, but it wasn't honest. Okay. Yes, Russian Orthodox, I've since given up the habit. Okay, so a lot of you have done this. I have zero experience with this, so I'm going to need to pull from your expertise. So if you have expertise in this, help me out. If you've ever given a confession at a church, is it like you see on TV? Do you like get into we'll start with this. Do you actually get into like the little confessional thing? Or is it in somebody's office? Or like, is it like I'm picturing it? Like there's one guy on the side of a thing that you can barely see through, and you're on the other side and you're like, Father, I have to confess my sins. And we're both like in this same box, for lack of a better word. Is it like that? It is like that? Most times? It's super weird and awkward? Walk-in box, closed door, kneel down, knock on a wall. A small window opens with a screen and you can't see the priest. Really? Okay. So that's almost exactly like I've seen it on TV. Okay. All right, that's the first question. That's very helpful. The second question, will the priest actively ask you questions? Or do they just listen? When you're doing the confession, does the priest actively go, what about drugs, my son? Have you been smoking marijuana, son? They put a towel on your head sometimes? He's on the other side, you can't really see him. No cross-examination. Okay, that's important. Only in a bathroom, you talk through the hole in the wall? Sir, that was not a confessional. I have to let you know. That may have been a wild night, but that was not a confessional. Oh, wait till you hear this story. This is crazy. I'm going to need more feedback from you so I don't sound too dumb here. Dumb-sounding possibilities lay ahead.
ZipRecruiter, try it free.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Need help after an accident? Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. Home of the world-famous Game of Magnets. This is...
I've never asked Sealand this question. I'm excited to ask him. I don't know what he's going to say.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time I am near?
No, I see no birds when you're around, as a matter of fact. I've seen none of that.
I've given you a couple.
I have a question for Sealand. Believe it or not, in all the years we've known each other, I have never asked you this, I don't believe.
Okay.
And it's all to do with this story that's going absolutely viral today, and it has me asking so many questions. Got a lot of feedback on this on the chat during the break.
Facebook,
Lots of talk about
Instagram,
this.
Twitter, y'all see this?
Online. You were raised a Catholic, correct, Sealand?
Absolutely. Used to play drums in my Catholic church.
So you frequented the church. You've been in there. You've done that stuff. Did you ever, in any of your years, give an actual confession? Wow.
Yes.
You have?
Yeah, but only for things that required it. So, like when you go through your religious education, in Catholic Church, if you're not going to, say, a Catholic school, and so instead you go to, we called it CCD. There's probably, a million different ways to call it. But I would go like once a week, and you would learn. First, you're learning about your first communion, and then you learn all the stuff, and then you do your first communion, and then afterwards, when you're a little older, you do your confirmation. And what the confirmation is kind of like a baptism that you choose, right? Because the baptism is kind of chose for you, and then you're your little baby, you can't say no, and they're just splashing you with the water, and name of Father, Son, Holy Spirit, all that good stuff. And then the confession. So for some of these,
part of that is like you literally go into, like, I've seen it on TV, and there's a viral story that I'm going to talk about here in a second. That's crazy, but it's like I picture it, because I've never been, where you go into this sort of thing where there's a screen or something, and there's a priest on the other side that you can't really see, and then it's like, the Son, confess your sins.
So I've never been in a confessional booth. Different churches do it different way, and like when you think of the movies, you think of like New York City, where you go into this church and you go into a closet and there's a priest in the other closet, and then they open up the thing. I've never been in that. The closest I came was like I went into a room where you had the option of just kind of sitting with the priest at a desk and talking, or if you wanted to do it kind of old school, they had a little divider that I could kneel at, and he would open the thing. But I've confessed, like, I want to say twice in my life.
All right. One was that murder charge, and then the other one being with the
coveting my neighbor's ass. It was mostly coveting my neighbor's ass.
All right. Let's go to the story here that's starting this conversation, and there's a reason why I'm asking all these questions. This is from WCNC in North Carolina, I believe. They're talking about what happened with this confessional, and I had not heard of a lot of these details.
Their children inappropriate questions during confession late last year.
WCNC Charlotte's Jesse Pierre is in studio now working on this story. You have been at it for weeks here, Jesse. You spoke with 3 different families, 2 of them on camera, who say their children were involved. What did they tell you?
Well, these parents asked to remain anonymous to protect their children, but they say the questions their children say they were asked during confession were of sexual nature, and say left their children alarmed.
All right, so let me stop there. Do they ask questions, everybody who's ever done this before? Because that's the big twist here. This person is reporting on what happened to these kids in North Carolina. The kids say the priest was like, I'm here for your confession. And then when they started confessing, the priest was like, yeah, but what about like sex stuff? Tell me what you've done. Have you done this? Have you done that? And the priest was like leading them on to try to get them to answer stuff that was sexual in nature. And I said, I don't even know. Is it normally like an interview style thing?
You're supposed to just volunteer your list of sins when you give confession.
So it's not like Larry King Live when you're in there.
No, I would just like say, I lied and I stole something from my friend, or stupid stuff like that.
You're going to hell.
No, then they give you your penance.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to say like 6 Hail Marys or other stuff like that, and then you're forgiven.
But they never ask any questions.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember any follow-ups.
Yeah, that's so weird. I want to hear more about what happened.
I was like really nervous to do it. I found the whole process kind of weird. I still find it to be a little weird.
Yeah, it is.
And I've said this before. Like, yeah, I grew up going to a Catholic church, but I also went to a Methodist school.
Mm-hmm.
So I was getting 2 different versions of this, where at church it was like you got to confess your sins and you do all this. At Methodist school it was like you just got to pray to Jesus and ask him to forgive you. You don't got to tell somebody else.
At this church, and a lot of people on chat are saying this is not anything they've experienced before. At this church, the guy would tell the younger girls, like, so tell me, have you done anything sexual? And they would ask questions about things that were sexual in nature. And these young girls were like, this doesn't seem right. Here's what happened. Here we go.
Now, the Diocese of Charlotte says they looked into the matter and ultimately found no wrongdoing.
It's so difficult when you're dealing with the Catholic Church
I've heard
because you're
that
talking
somewhere.
about a centuries-old institution that has a very specific hierarchy.
A sacred ritual at Charlotte Catholic High School under scrutiny.
It's not about an indictment of the Catholic Church. It's about, protecting our children.
Parents say in December, a priest's questions to students during confession crossed the line.
He asked her if she masturbates.
Their daughter was not alone.
All right, that's got to be over the line, right? I've got to tell you, if somebody is asking my child, priest or no priest, specific details like that, that's messed up. Like if I just do that on the street, is that a crime? I hate to even say some of this stuff aloud, but like if I go over to a high school and I just start asking high school girls about it.
Remember earlier this week when we said that the doorbell guy, the crazy dude, got an extra charge of like annoying or molesting, which seems like so drastically different things, or as far as how bad they are. That when I read through what can get you that charge, it sounds like the thing you're saying now, like going to a school and saying, "Hey,
right,
you masturbate."
It's a catch-all for what they're doing here, I would think.
He asked my daughter if she's ever had a sexual relationship with a boy.
Both parents say the questions were unprompted.
She said, "Mom, I was telling them about missing mass and, lying to you and fighting with my brother. We were not talking about anything sexual at all."
What a creeper. He was bored. The priest in North Carolina who's hearing this confession from the teenage girls, he's going, yeah, you lied. Oh, yeah, were you late for math class? Yeah. He's bored. And then he's like, tell me about masturbating. Tell me about that. He wanted something exciting. And the school somehow looked into this and said nothing wrong happened? I'm sorry.
They're looking at it like he asked about your sins. Are you sinning? I would wonder, did he ask you if you killed anybody? Like, did you ask the young girl about all of the sins?
If the only way out of this would be if he was literally going through a list of the sins.
Let's go. Go through the Big Ten and some of their outliers.
Yeah, one after another. If he was doing it, but it doesn't sound like it. He was just going for the creepy stuff.
He just asked me that.
They took their concerns to school leaders in the Diocese of Charlotte. The bishop responded with a letter saying the matter was taken seriously, but since a priest can't talk about what is said during confession, it limits what information he can learn.
Oh, ain't that something?
The bishop added that sometimes people come to confession without fully preparing or reflecting on their actions.
Oh, great. So they're blaming the people for not knowing how to properly confess, number one. And then number two, we were trying to interview the priest about what happened in these situations, but we can't interview him because the priest says, look, I can't tell you what people confess to me. I can't declare anything that has happened in this confessional booth. I'm not allowed to do that. What a very convenient way out of a situation like this.
Bit of a loophole.
Yeah, he's found the loophole. It's like when a school...
Catholics love loopholes.
It's like
that butt one.
It's like when the school goes, there's an employee who's flirting with some of the kids or something, and the school goes, this is actually an employee matter, and we don't comment on staff matters to the press. And you're like, isn't that really convenient that you don't have to do this? The guy's going, I can't tell you what happened because it was a confessional.
He says in those cases, a priest may offer general age-appropriate examples of common sins to guide the conversation. For these families, the response fell short, leaving them more frustrated.
The whole letter felt a little bit like we were being gaslighted.
Did not address any of the other issues whatsoever, and I felt very dismissed. I was very upset.
In a statement, the Diocese of Charlotte tells us it investigated the complaints and found the priest did not violate its policy of conduct.
All right, so they said the priest wasn't in violation. So I toss it out to you, my Catholic friends listening to the show today, especially those of you who have been to a confessional. Does this sound normal or wrong to you? Does this sound like this was a creepy priest or this is people being too sensitive? Let us know. Send us a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. The church defending itself, no surprise there, saying we investigated ourselves and nobody did anything wrong. We'll see what you think in just a moment on the show. An email coming in from Matt in Port St. Lucie saying to tips@thenewsjunkie.com, buy now, pay later. He goes, I've utilized buy now, pay later for concert tickets. God, what a sad state of affairs that we have to finance concert tickets. A lawnmower, car tires, and repairs. Now, let me say something here. The car tires and repairs is a smart one. That is absolutely a smart one. Those are oftentimes things that will get to you and you don't have enough reserve cash and it's a surprise charge and you need to get your car so you can get working out there. That makes sense. Do buy now, pay later on that if you can. That's fine. But groceries and some of these other things are crazy. He says from credit card companies offering 6 months, 0% to PayPal doing similar, I've utilized these because it's actually cheaper than the credit cards in some cases, says Matt in Port St. Lucie.
I would think concert tickets is a little more common if you're doing like a festival. Like some of those multi-day festivals, camping kind of festivals, they have a big markup on that cost, and you end up doing it in installments. Usually, a lot of times through the actual vendor of the festival itself.
Yeah, $400, $500, $600 sometimes. Sometimes you want to do that. Give us your experiences. Send your dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com right now. I got to get to this airport story, believe it or not. I'm hesitant to do it on account of I know what will happen when that takes place, but we do have to take a quick break. So we're going to do that right now. We'll get geared up for This Week in Florida, which is on the way in just a bit. There was a near disaster in the air, though, and I'm going to play the air traffic control freak out for you. Whether I get hit with the song or not is really just beyond me at the moment. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Real pastrami sandwiches aren't like sliced thin.
Jim likes his meat girthy.
Yeah. I like girthy meat. It's a little too clean on that one. I wish somebody would have thought.
311.
Why didn't someone interrupt me then?
We really wanted to soak it in.
Girthy meat.
Yeah.
The Jim Colbert Show. Weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's a crash affecting northbound and southbound lanes on John Young Parkway near State Road 408. I-4 still going to give you some trouble. Approaching that Celebration area, there's slowdowns. Through that amusement park area, there's delays. I-95 northbound is stop and go out in the Palm Coast.
Hello. Stand by.
This report is sponsored by Florida Prepaid College Program. As the largest, most successful prepaid program in the nation, Florida Prepaid has helped 1.2 million Florida families successfully save for college. Let them help you. Plans start at just $29 a month. Enroll by April 30th and get $50.
Taylor here, guys. Let's have a little chat. If you are starting to see the symptoms of ED or PE showing up in the bedroom, well, that's not something that's just going to fix itself. You didn't put Band-Aids on it, metaphorically speaking. But what you should be doing is calling Premier Men's Medical Center, because they're the ones that want to help you get back to where you should be in the bedroom. Because if you're back to where you should be in the bedroom, you'll be back to having full confidence outside the bedroom as well. And no matter how much you brush it off, joke about it, when it matters, when push comes to shove, those
Hello, everybody. Welcome behind the scenes of the show.
If you're fixing it with pills and you find yourself...
You can chat around the clock over on TNJ Chat. That's chat.thenewsjunkie.com.
Medical Center, they want to help you out because
welcome in, everybody.
It's only going to get worse from there, and they want you to avoid surgery at all costs. They have a lot of painless procedures.
Son St. John, who's in the hospital?
FDA-approved procedure.
What's going on? Who's in the hospital?
It's not surgery, and the surgery can be expensive. It is invasive, and it's not always great. But Premier Men's Medical Center is going to help you. They say 98% of men see results right there in the office with some of those procedures, right there, same day. So call them for their free consultation and get yourself back to where you should be and feel like yourself again. Get that free consultation.
I saw a video of somebody confronting a person for bringing their golden doodle into a Trader Joe's. And when I see stuff like that, I go, now I know with absolute certainty why Publix made the decision to put those signs up right when you enter the store that says, hey, dumbass, don't bring your dog in with you. You're at the grocery store right now. We don't need you walking around with your golden noodle. There's absolutely no legitimate reason that most of these people want to bring their dogs into the grocery store of all places. If you're blind, yes. If the dog is going to warn you of a impending medical situation, yes. Everybody else, get your golden doodles out of the Trader Joe's, okay? Saw a woman holding a small dog over the soup bar at Publix. Let me ask you something. Did you say something to her? Why aren't we saying something? But isn't that the problem, that we have just as a society let this happen? Why aren't we saying something? For Christ's sakes, if you walked in with a political shirt to the grocery store, you might have 4 or 5 people confront you. You're like, what the hell? I don't like that guy. I like the other guy. Kiss my ass. What do you do? Why are you wearing that? But we'll let somebody with a chihuahua over the soup bowl, or with a St. Bernard drooling over the chips at the pub substation. Why are we not doing something about this? Why are we not yelling at the person with the golden doodle in the Trader Joe's? I think the person in the video is right. I think we need more of this, maybe. 90 seconds and we're back. Dogs shouldn't be in grocery stores, and I love dogs. Me too, buddy. I said, what the hell, as I walked by her, but I wasn't confrontational on that day. It's because of that people take advantage. They're always these sloppy jerks. And the dog doesn't want to be there. The dog doesn't want to be sliding around on the linoleum floor or whatever the hell it's made out of at the grocery store. Sean, my Shih Tzu Violet deserves to go wherever she wants. Everywhere except for a grocery store. There's so many dog-friendly places. You can bring your dog to so many places, but it's not enough, right? 1 minute, we're back. Why isn't Publix enforcing their own rules? I think mostly they are. This was at a Trader Joe's, but I do think that sometimes they'll have the rules up, but they're hesitant to interact. They're hesitant to start something and say something to somebody, because a lot of times these people will freak out. All right, we're coming back right now.
/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
It's not just a radio app. It's what's happening right now.
It's on.
On the iHeartRadio app, you're not just listening. You're in it.
You better believe it.
From breaking news to what's happening in your community.
Local, national, and world.
Live moments.
New development.
Real voices.
Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest.
Amazing prizes. Plus, talk to your favorite hosts using the TalkBack mic.
I have loved always hearing you guys.
This is where culture comes alive.
I listen everywhere on the app.
Download the iHeartRadio app today.
Win $25,000 in free impact windows from Reese Windows. Text TRUST to 20129.
Because the newspapers don't come with cliff notes or potentially offensive accents.
I don't know what we need to do other than just start calling people out. You got to call people out, right? I think you fix the world in some ways by calling people out. People like to make selfish decisions sometimes, and the selfish decisions will make living in public worse for other people. And I saw one of the stories that led me down this path was somebody confronting a person in a Trader Joe's. And the person was just walking around with their big-ass golden doodle dog in the Trader Joe's. And I go, you know what? That's why in the Publix that I go to, the grocery store, they had signs up. I don't know if they're still there, but I think they might be. They said, no dogs. You can't bring your dogs in
They have
here.
it up there for a while as like a reminder, like, hey, listen, only service animals here. None of your pets.
Somebody in chat was like, I just went to the grocery store the other day, and there was somebody with a little dog in their hand, and they were like hovering the dog over the soup bowl. And I go, why aren't we calling these people out? Why? Or maybe we should be saying, like, hey, why are you bringing the dog into the grocery store? What is happening is like a weaponization of these people not caring and knowing that you're too scared to say something to them in public. Like if you wear like the wrong hat or shirt or like a MAGA hat, someone will confront you in public. But people won't confront you if you're walking around a grocery store with a bunch of food around with a golden doodle. That's not like saving your life or something. It's just your dog.
Yeah, I think also there are companies that are too scared to confront people with pets because they either they don't understand the rules, or they just, maybe it's policy to have like an overabundance of caution with the rules because they're worried about some sort of ADA lawsuit.
Yeah, yes. And what Key West is saying on Twitch, C-Lane, they said they're big D-ing you. And they 100% are. They're like, you won't do it. I'm going to do this thing. It's against the stated rules, but nobody wants a confrontation, so nobody's going to do it. And because these people are like, go ahead, do it. Do the confrontation. And nobody wants to do the confrontation because the rest of us are good people, then they just keep doing it. They get away with it over and over and over again. And then there's a golden doodle in the Trader Joe's.
I mean, I think it wouldn't be crazy. I'm sure that just like every job, there's regular training, regular updates in your training. Like, just remind these people under the Americans with Disabilities Act what they're allowed to ask. You're allowed to ask, is this a service animal? And you're allowed to ask, what service does the animal provide?
Mm-hmm.
And if they say it's an emotional support dog, you can piss off because that's not covered.
Right. And the thing is, I hate that there might be some backlash for people who are blind and have seeing eye dogs, or somebody who has an actual dog that's there for like a legitimate purpose, because some of these other people are such bad offenders.
Mm-hmm.
And I love dogs. I love animals. I love all this stuff, but it's just so weird to see people do that. And they're pushing the limits of what they can get away with. Even if it's against the rules, they know that you don't want to confront them. They know that it makes everybody else uncomfortable, and they take advantage.
So are you encouraging these places like a Publix to call people out? Or
I think people should call them out.
Other customers?
I think people should call them out. There's got to be a good way to do it.
Because there are places that allow dogs that you kind of don't necessarily think of bringing your dogs to. Like, for example, I had a friend that worked at a particular liquor store that's a pretty popular chain. Yeah. And she was like, yeah, bring Lexi. We'd love to see her. Bring her while you go get your vodka.
And I think that's great. I love it. I've brought Lady, our dog, to places like that. Dig it. I'm with it.
I think either Home Depot or Lowe's or perhaps both are pet friendly. I could be wrong.
That's fine too. All of those things are great. The problem is when there's the places that they know aren't, and they go, too bad. What you going to do about it? Come confront me. I'll start screaming at you. I'll bring my camera out. I'll go, this guy's harassing me in the middle of the grocery store. And they'll make up a bunch of stories. Everybody's afraid of confrontations from people breaking social code. And I think we need to call out more people breaking social codes. I think we do. I think if we do, it'll make them think twice about doing it. Right now, you're thinking twice about saying something to them. Instead, let's make them think twice about doing the thing that makes everybody else's experience and outcomes worse. I think that would be better. All right, a couple of things we got to get into here. Sorry, I just saw that and revived an old argument in me where I'm like, why are people doing this? I take issue with this. I take issue with this comment, but tell me what you think. This is the President of the United States of America, and he was speaking at a No Tax on Tips event in Las Vegas, Nevada. Not sure if that's where our friend Mo is or not, but maybe.
You mean at the No Tax on Tips event?
Yeah, I don't know. He's in Vegas. We know he's out in Vegas doing something right now, but Trump was out there, and he made a statement, and I said, I think this is not right. I feel like, what are you even saying here? Here he is. Listen.
In addition to no tax on Social Security, over 51 million seniors now pay. Seniors are loving me. and I love them. Of course, I'm not a senior, so I cater to the seniors, but I don't happen to be a senior myself. Thank you very much.
I'm going to stop here. What's the definition of a senior? Is it if you look this up and I'm in senior territory, I literally will walk out on this week. I will say, see you later. I've bled enough this week. I can't take it anymore.
It says 43 or older.
No, don't.
65 or older.
So he's 100% a senior. It's just like absolutely, positively a senior, yes, by every stretch of the imagination or definition of it. But yeah, I saw that. I was like, I think that's wrong. Probably trolling, I'm sure. People are all saying 65 and up. Does it mean that you're getting like Social Security? Is that like one of the indicators that you would be a senior? Is that it?
I mean, I think just being eligible for Social Security. What's the age of that? Like, is it 65 for Social Security?
I don't know. I think it's getting older, actually, or they've been trying to kick it up further.
Social Security retirement benefits are available as early as age 62, though this results in reduced payments. Full retirement age, or FRA, which provides 100% of the benefits, is 67 if you were born after 1960.
Somebody says, I got AARP at 50? That's wild out there. My husband is 60 at the end of the month. TNJAI, you can call TNJAI in chat over on chat.thenewsjunkie.com. And Bootsy did. They said a senior citizen is typically defined as an individual 60 to 65, often eligible for retirement benefits. Homeboy's 80-something. So, yeah, he's 100% in that category. Just for the record, let us know what you think. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com.
Unless we have a category that's older than senior that we've missed out on, and that he's
Is there one?
I don't think so.
Is there like there would be like senior and then elderly? Is elderly a new category when you get there? I'm not sure if that's actually a category or just a thing that you say to define that somebody's even older than a senior.
I said what comes after senior citizen, and it says death. It's
shut up. Brutal.
After senior citizen, terminology often shifts based on age, health, and functionality. Common terms for later stages include elder, often associated with increased age or frailty, septuagenarian, octogenarian, nonagenarian, centenarian.
That's just 70, 80, 90, and on up. All right, let's do it. I teased this, so let's get back on a plane, unfortunately.
Oh, you're going to do it to me right now? I thought we had to break.
He's not prepared.
What a shocker, what a surprise.
That's not a surprise either.
As long as it flies. This next clip is wild and insane, and as you might have guessed, we're back on a plane.
Indeed, it looks like there was a near miss, a close call at an airport in Louisville, Kentucky, I believe. And this crash was a close call between a UPS plane and another aircraft. Went down about 12:10 a.m., so very early in the morning of Tuesday. And there was a flight that was instructed to do a go-around. And I guess it got kind of crazy. I haven't listened to the audio yet. Let's see if it lives up or if it doesn't. But here it is.
At Muhammad Ali Airport this week after a UPS plane had to dodge another plane. The FAA tells us this happened just after midnight on Tuesday. They say air traffic control had to tell that UPS plane to perform a go-around maneuver after another plane turned onto the runway without permission. The two planes maintained separation and did not make contact. It comes 5 months after that deadly UPS plane crash at Louisville's airport.
That's why they're bringing this up, because there was a very, very bad accident at this place. They didn't play any of the ATF stuff.
When was the plane crash at Louisville? Because the one that I was thinking of that she was going to reference would be, was that JFK or LaGuardia with the fire truck?
There have been a couple. There was one that was at D.C. Are you talking about the one with the helicopter? Are you talking about UPS in particular?
No, the plane that was landing and the fire truck had turned onto the runway, and the pilots got
it. Smashed right into it. I forgot where that was. There's been so many of these issues that have happened in the last, I don't know.
It was LaGuardia.
4 months or so that it kind of runs into each other here. But in this case, it was a UPS flight. I guess the flight had to pull up like 1,000 feet, or at least one of them did. I don't have the ATF audio. I'll try to find that at some point in time. But it apparently was another one of these very, very close calls, and things got really rough there for a second. And to avoid the song yet again, I might as well just get this out of the way. Let's just do it now. Let's just get it out of the way, because there are some problems with Spirit Airlines that have people talking this weekend. Here we go.
So what happens if the reports are true and Spirit is forced to liquidate, essentially shutting down? Historically, when that has happened, airlines essentially go away overnight. So there is the potential, if Spirit is told to cease operations and liquidate, flyers will be stranded. Other airlines already have plans in place to offer what they call rescue fares, discounted one-way fares to get people home. But there is the potential, if a worst-case scenario plays out in the coming days, that flyers will want to have at least some idea of a backup plan.
So they're saying if you buy Spirit Airlines tickets right now, the company could literally disappear while you're in the air. And then you land and you have a connection or something, and then they go, Spirit Airlines, who are you talking about? Somebody grabs the sign out of the gate and just hauls ass with the Spirit logo and goes off into the night. They are going to possibly dissolve the company while some of these people are in the air.
You know what happens if you're in the air when they do that? They don't have a gate to go to. They just land and they have to.
That's true, isn't it?
No, I think that's true. I just made that up.
I think that's true. If they don't exist as a company, then they're not able to operate the gate in that moment, and then they would have to wait and figure out how to deplane these people. Maybe the guy blabs
General Aviation or something.
Hold on, I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's see what the guy says.
Another way to get home if they need it. Spirit says it's business as usual. They're continuing to operate their flights. They're continuing to accept bookings, new reservations. But we understand some of the bankrupt airlines' creditors are starting to have doubts about the long-term future of Spirit, their ability to get back to profitability, especially because of this surge in fuel prices that have nearly doubled since the start of the year.
So there you go. The fuel prices are more expensive. Things are rough. They're running too thin. You might be on a Spirit Airlines flight, and then presto bango, when it lands, your connection doesn't exist anymore.
Do you think that right now, I mean, they're already a budget airline, but if you bought a Spirit Airline ticket today, you are gambling with that trip, right?
I'm checking.
Do you think it's cheap?
We should be getting a real solid deal, I would say.
I should be getting a might not fly at all discount.
All right, let's say if I want to go to Austin, Texas.
All right.
What are you going to give me? All right, going to go to Austin, Texas. $419. Well, that's just one. Is that only one way? You guys are barely a company right now.
$419.
Is that round trip? No, that's just one way. I'm going to take the cheapest fare, $419. And then on the way back, cheapest fare, $374. So 2 flights, it's not even, it is nonstop, I guess. 2 flights, $792 on an airline that might disappear while I'm in the middle of my journey.
How many bags are you checking? Well, how are you getting to $792?
That's just from picking the depart flight and the return flight. That's it. I didn't even put anything down. Those are the value versions of the flights for Spirit Airlines. What the hell's going on over there? I would have thought that you would say, hey, $49 wherever you want to fly. Make this like the mega bus thing for a while. Well, there's not a lot of trust in what you have going on over there.
All right.
Let us know what you think.
I'm searching now. I could get on, Spirit, it says, that's a one stop.
Try to go to New York City. All right. That's
on Spirit or just in general?
On Spirit. On Spirit.
All right.
Yeah.
Spirit Air. Spirit.com.
Yeah, it should be if you, and Tanya says you were always gambling with Spirit anyways. If you're going into New York City, it should never be that expensive for a Spirit flight.
No.
I mean, that's a disaster. This is the budget airline, for God's sake.
MCO, New York City.
All right. New York City.
New York City. We're going to go to LaGuardia. Saturday to Tuesday sounds like a nice little thing. Search for flights. See, I'm getting $200 this year.
See, That's better. I was going to Austin, Texas, so maybe it's a little more expensive in that hub. And maybe the fuel cost is a little bit more. Also, Sport Johnson said it's going to be more expensive if you fly same day. That's true. I was looking for like the immediate flights, which would be more expensive. But I would be iffy about flying them right now. If you're over there on the Spirit side of things, let us know. Send us a dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, to your feedback. When we return, we're getting into your comments, your emails. We're getting geared up for This Week in Florida, folks. The time has arrived.
Throw away that Spirit story.
We have possibly this cruise ship attorney who might be joining us a little bit later on in the show, and a whole lot more twists and turns on the way. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 8 p.m., it's the Orlando Shine Show with Brendan and the Bus. At 9, we all find out what the hell is Angel listening to. Tonight on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center. Odoo.com.
Hello, welcome behind the scenes of the show. Stand by. What is going on outside of my house right now? It's a lot of commotion going on. Damn, I just booked 3 on JetBlue, $1,500 total round trip. 3 people, total round trip, $1,500? Tearing up the speed bump? They better not be. I'll have to go out there and like peel Courtney off of whatever vehicle would be trying to destruct it. Pallet Man? No, Pallet Man doesn't know where I live. Praise the Lord. Praise Allah. I saw one of the viral stories today was out of Australia, and there was a guy who got busted because he pooped on somebody else's lawn. And the whole country is now looking after this guy and looking at the security footage. And as with all the other times we've handled this on this show, I will say there are some circumstances, very few, but some circumstances where I can excuse that happening. Like if you were way far away from your home, no bathroom anywhere, and then it just hits you like an absolute freight train. You telling me you wouldn't do in the most insane emergency, you wouldn't do this? I think a lot of you would. Whole country on alert. They don't have a lot going on in Australia. Yeah, so they were very focused on trying to find who this guy is. I know I've been out there in the wild and had that like rumbling hit, and you start thinking about things. You're like, what if I go over there? What if I What if I go behind this bush? What if there's a lake over there? What if I just go in the lake and then just go and then wander out of the lake afterwards? I've thought of it. 100%. And I know you have too. Don't lie to me. I know you've thought about that at least one time outside, and you go, oh, I have to start getting some emergency plans ready here. Courtney says it's a Stanley steamer across the street. Stanley's steaming up the place over there. Addie says, wow, that's just wrong. Just poop your pants? No way! Wait, we're not divided on this, are we? Quick poll here. In an absolute dire emergency. Absolutely dire emergency. Is it acceptable that a person might have to, in an absolute emergency, go to the bathroom in a public place like somebody's lawn? Yes or no?
Compare your quote at thatmortgageguydon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguydon.com.
Contractors and homeowners, installing a metal roof? Don't leave money on the table. Register your Tri-County Metals Factory Direct Rebate for up to $500 back at TriCountyMetals.com.
Filling you in on the shocking details. Just try not to pass out. This is the news.
Not gonna work. Chaos.
I got a
Way
clinic you can go
before.
to.
Wait. Way before the World Cup pops up, this is just not going to work. I'll tell you what's going on here in just a second. I can't believe this is controversial, though, on the chat side of things during the break. I'll get to this World Cup story about how everything seems to be spiraling for the World Cup in a moment. And even if you're not into sports, there's some interesting details there. But I was telling people on chat, on Skull Mike during the breaks, you can watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Sealand, I was telling them about, there's a story right now that's transfixing the people of Australia. They don't have a lot going on over there. They're worried about running out of oil soon because of this Iran stuff, but they don't have a lot going on over there. And they're transfixed because there's security footage that's gone viral on all the social media platforms in Australia.
Facebook,
right?
Instagram, Twitter, y'all see this?
It shows this poor guy. I'm not going to show you the video because why? I feel so bad for this dude. It shows this poor guy. He's walking down the street and he looks around frantically. And then all of a sudden he goes over to this person's lawn and he just drops his drawers and uses the restroom, number 2, very quickly. He goes quickly and then he just, boom, he flies out of there. And all these people, I thought people would agree on this, but they have not agreed on this. I don't think you should be doing this for fun. I don't think this should be something that people should be doing as a prank. But we can at least excuse it, I think, in the most insane set of circumstances where this becomes an emergency.
We have a friend of the show who this happened to very recently. I don't believe it was a Tuesday, but there was an extreme situation. Did you see our friend Eric, the truck driver, who was stuck in that huge 8-hour backup because
my God.
Because the truck on I-75 overturned. It was a big semi truck overturned on I-75 and blocked the entire direction of traffic, every lane.
So he's sitting there stuck like the REM music video.
It was
no cars are moving.
Very everybody hurts. And so he's a little set up, man. He's got a truck. He's got a little bunker in there. He could just lay in bed and wait for this thing to clear out. but he said that he said there was some blonde lady that just took a little squat behind his wheel well. Everybody was stuck in traffic for like 8 hours. People got to go.
Yeah, somebody said in chat, like, when you got to go, you got to go. I know that sounds like a very childish thing, but all I'm saying is, can we reserve judgment in the most insane of circumstances? Like, it doesn't mean that this person is always some terrible villain from a cartoon or something. It could be in some cases like, haven't you guys gone on that run where you get out and you're a little far away from your house and you start feeling and you go, oh, this is not good. I don't know what I'm going to need to do. I said, I've thought of this before. I saw a pond nearby where I was, and I was going to go into the pond up to my waist and just pretend like I was like going for a little swim in the middle of my walk. And, you know, whatever you got to do.
You were going to go into the pond? You don't know what's in that pond.
I know, but I know what was going to be into the pond afterwards. I knew that I had to act fast. And now the whole country, everybody in Australia is like, who is he? Do we know who this man is?
Who is the mad pooper?
Who is the mad pooper? Who is the man who did this? And I know that you have all been in a position like this at some point in time. So I want us to withhold judgment, all right? Okay? The guy deserves a little bit more than for everybody to be thinking he should be arrested and hanged in the public square. But here we are. Let me know what you think. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com right now. Now, here's the story about the World Cup, and this is crazy. Here's what's happening. If you take a train from Penn Station in New York to the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, it usually costs $12 to go from Penn Station to New Jersey, and that's where a lot of the World Cup action is going to be. There's some of the games taking place at this Jersey's MetLife Stadium. And usually it costs $12 for you to ride one way and get to Jersey from Penn Station, get to this MetLife Stadium. They are jacking up the prices for the World Cup, and people who are traveling on this path to Jersey from New York because of the World Cup are going to have to pay not $12 each way, but $150 each way. Which is a 1,000% jump in fares. And I heard from some people today on the chat room, chat.thenewsjunkie.com, and they're big into sports and soccer. And some people were suggesting that this is because FIFA takes all the money and some of the states don't get enough of it. Like New York might be getting some money for the World Cup, but New Jersey's not getting enough. So New Jersey goes, all right, if you're not going to pay us enough, we're going to make it $150 each way for people to take the train to come see the games for the World Cup. And it's sort of like a hostage negotiation move or something.
It's weird because it doesn't sound illegal. Like, it sounds wrong, but it doesn't sound like they're violating any sort of... would there be any legal protection for train fares?
Oh, I don't know. Here's what started this. The governor of New Jersey... Is it Mickey Sherrill? M-I-K-I-E? The governor of New Jersey, Mikey or Mickey Sherrill, who inherited the FIFA contract, which she took office in January. The FIFA contract was from 8 years ago, and the governor of New Jersey said, hey, we just can't let this happen. We've got a problem here. And now they're talking about tickets costing as much as $10,000, right? So it's just absolutely out of control here. Let me see. Is there more details about this? This is from Channel 4 in New York. Let's see what they say about the World Cup just imploding in terms of prices and stuff.
$100 for round-trip tickets from Penn Station to MetLife Stadium.
News 4's Chris Jose is live at Penn Station tonight with more on the controversial report. Chris?
Talk about sticker shock here, guys. Lots of questions on this one. And there are still plenty of unknowns. Typically, a round-trip ticket from New York Penn Station to MetLife Stadium on a game day will cost you right around $12.90. But according to a report from the New York Times, that same ticket will cost you $100 during the World Cup. This statement right here from NJ Transit this afternoon telling us the ticket prices for match day travel have not been finalized. However, as the governor has clearly stated, the cost for the 8 matches will not be borne by our regular commuters. We can confirm that the overall cost of the agency is approximately $48 million for the 8 matches.
Wow. Eight World Cup games, and it's $48 million for them to hold these 8 World Cup games. I'm sure it'll bring a lot of people into town. Yeah. I'm sure it will. But now they're even saying it's going to go a step further, and they're not going to allow anybody who doesn't have a ticket to a World Cup game to even ride the train to begin with.
What if you're just trying to get to work?
Too bad. When the World Cup is on, you're screwed. You just have to. You got to go another way. I get Uber all the way to Jersey. Let us know what you think about this. It sounds like it's spiraling out of control ahead of the World Cup. I want to hear what you think. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. All right. Quick note. You'll see some changes eking into the show starting next week. We'll talk more about what those changes are and what's going to happen and some different things that are going to be moved around. I'm excited about these changes. It's the only good thing that's happened in the last week or so, but people freak out whenever anything changes. I think it's all going to be good stuff. You guys will have your say in it, but I'm just letting you know now. All right, next week on the show, expect some changes. There'll be some things that are different around here as of next week, and I just wanted to put that on your radar right here in the dead center of the show. When we come back, we're going to do This Week in Florida with Christopher Dolores Lane himself, the man, the myth, the legend. We'll see what happens with that, because that's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Download the all-new iHeartRadio app. Make Real Radio 104.1 number 1 on your presets, and you could win free stuff at upcoming events.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
The southbound right lane still blocked on John Young.
Hello, chat. Hang tight. Hold on. Hold up.
This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Hear that? That's the sound of another savvy driver rolling into Valvoline Instant Oil Change. No hassle with appointments or dealer wait times. That's one smart bell. This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
Hurricane season is coming, but this year, getting ready is going to feel a whole lot different. Join us May 2nd for Storm Prep Live, a family-friendly hurricane prep party that takes the stress out.
Hey, quick thank you to all the people who have showed up for the free chicken parm. It is at Doughboys in Oviedo, I think. Doughboys in Oviedo. They're giving away chicken parms today for National Chicken Parm Day. Moses DeWitt is picking up the tab. You can still get yourself a free lunch. Go over to Doughboys in Oviedo. Get a free chicken parm lunch courtesy of Mo, and just call Mo.com. Look up Doughboys in Oviedo right now. They said a lot of people have swarmed the place, at least they did before. So now is like the second half of your opportunity to do that. Gailey says he could have at least picked it up like you do when you have a dog. I agree. I agree, Gailey. I think if you have that emergency, if it's at all possible for you to like get one of the dog things and pick it up, you should do that. I agree with you. Oviedo on the other side of the world for me. John, little secret about me. Little secret about me. I have no idea where Oviedo is. No clue. Mr. Predicto, is this going to be a good This Week in Florida? We need your help.
It is a certainty.
Nice. It's a certainty that it's going to be a good This Week in Florida. We deserve it. Why would he have one of those dog poop things if he wasn't walking a dog? If you get near a park, parks will offer those for free to encourage people to pick up their dog's poop. All I'm saying is I agree with the chat. I agree with Gailey. If it's possible, and you could get one of those things from somewhere nearby, get it, pick up the mess, and then you move on and try to fix things. Kevin says Sean is shit talking. Hey, I'm not trying to be graphic about it. I'm trying to stay away from that. Secret shows tonight, 5 p.m. Available for everybody on thenewsjunkie.com. Oh, the bowling event is in Oviedo? Okay. Well, then the only thing I know about that is when we go to the bowling event this year, I can't let Courtney drive. Some of you will know why. Did anybody see that? Hopefully nobody remembers that. Sunset John says, neighbors and I don't give a crap if your dog poops in our yards. That's a rarity. I was there last year. She killed a curb. Technically, she killed a, well, is it a curb? What's the front of the parking space called? Is that the, oh God, I never even thought about this. Is the parking space the entirety of the space? What's the thing called in the front? That's not called a curb, is it? You know what I'm talking about? Like when I said get a good parking space, I mean the space that you pull into. But what's the parking block? The bumper? No, it's not called the bumper. People are saying block? She ran over the parking block and got stuck. Yes, she did. Yeah, indeed. In her brand new Mercedes at the time. Parking stop? Yeah, I don't know what to call those things. Wheel stops? I just call the whole thing a parking spot. That's what I call it. I've never referred to that thing individually. All right, this week in Florida, baby. It's happening.
It fresh for you just as much as you love eating it. Come on in and let us make a Kobe Jack Pub Burger for you at Culver's.
From Wisconsin with love. Welcome to Delicious.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Got a question after an accident? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. Dispensing unsolicited advice on a wide range of pointless topics.
But it doesn't matter because you can always grab everything that you miss. Go to the website, which is at thenewsjunkie.com. Subscribe to the podcast, and the podcast will follow you wherever we go, right? Wherever we go, the podcast shall be. So make sure you subscribe for free over at thenewsjunkie.com. This week in Florida, in just a moment here on the show, C-Lane appears to be ready.
I am.
I never know. He's He's like flipping through papers over there. So I'm assuming.
Getting my stories in an order that would be both compelling and make a little bit of sense, put together some things that are related,
Is there an algorithm to this for This Week in Florida?
It's a very loose algorithm.
All right.
It's in my head. I don't even understand it, but it makes sense to somebody.
You bought the whole seat. You only need the edge. Let's do it. Let's do This Week in Florida.
Giving you a recap of the most groan-worthy stories in the state. It's This Week in Florida.
That's right. The weekend is here. It's time to take a trip around the Sunshine State, see some of the craziness that has gone on in the past 7 days or so. The 7 days that started 4 months ago. It's This Week in Florida. And we start at Florida's beloved grocery store, Publix.
Again,
we started Publix. We're going to Publix because
You're
not
gonna
only
need a song for Publix instead of back on a plane.
Stop trying to get rid of my plane song. It's a brilliant song.
It is.
But Publix, as we learned earlier, Tom Holland tried out their pub subs while pitching or sort of kind of hawking his non-alcoholic beer.
Mm-hmm.
But there's another Publix offering that has been off the shelves for a couple years now that people want back, and they've taken to the internet, to the place that you go on the internet when you want to get things done, and that is change.org. Because there is a position, and there are thousands that are demanding Publix bring back the hurricane cakes. Florida's less than 2 weeks away from hurricane season. For many, that means it's almost time for hurricane cakes to be specific. From Click Orlando, the longtime staple of Publix grocery stores, went away in the year 2022 after Hurricane Ian. Publix saying it is our company policy not to produce bakery cakes that would make light of a natural disaster.
Oh, my God. So this was another one of those things in 2021 and 2022 that got swept up in all the craziness, and all of a sudden they made hurricane cakes seem like they were controversial, when if you just sat in a Publix and talked to every single customer and said, do you have a problem with this? None of them would say that is a problem. Nobody would care.
They didn't want to downplay natural disasters. They didn't want to make light of hurricanes, even though plenty of Floridians spend the hurricane making light of it.
Have you ever had one or no?
A hurricane party?
A hurricane cake?
I have not. I don't really eat cake. I don't love cake. But last time I had a cake.
What's wrong with you?
I like ice cream cake. But I don't think that was with the hurricane thing. The hurricane cakes, they had a fun little hurricane design on them. They said, go away. You're getting the cake to sort of encourage the hurricane to back off.
Yeah, here's one. I'm still looking at it. It's got a hurricane spinning on it. And then it says, go away. Yeah. It says, often features pineapple, coconut, and pecans, baked with yellow or chocolate cake mix, and people swear by them, I guess.
You lost me at the coconut. Don't like eating coconut stuff. But Hurricane Ian made landfall in Florida September 2022 as a Category 4 storm, causing hundreds of millions of dollars worth of damage and resulting in the deaths of over 100 people. And after that, Publix said, hey, maybe we shouldn't make these cakes. But there are a large number of people who would beg to differ. In fact, 41,216 verified signatures are on this change.org petition that says, once upon a time, Publix gave us something magical, hurricane cakes. Not just delicious, these cakes were edible morale boosters. A wink, a laugh, and a little comfort as we stocked up on bottled water and batteries, and lots of alcohol.
Yeah,
For
right.
reasons
might as well say we can't have that, right? No, you're not going to let us celebrate the hurricane.
We're calling on Publix to bring back the hurricane cake for the joy, the tradition, and the morale of the communities in Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia. Let's make hurricane season just a little bit sweeter again. Over 40,000 signatures on the petition to return the hurricane cake. I say, what's it hurting? What's it? Is even somebody who probably had a lot of property damage because of a hurricane, I don't think walks by the table of hurricane cakes and gets super triggered.
No, I don't think so. And as a matter of fact, I think yet again, it's another one of these things that I could say, I could bring together people on the left and on the right, and I could go, this is a hurricane cake. It's a tradition. Do you have any problem with this? And nobody would be upset. But for a couple of years there, we let people on social media outlets direct what we could buy and what we couldn't buy and what companies were called and stuff.
It goes back down to the very simple idea of voting with your wallet. If you don't like it, don't buy it.
Exactly.
Plenty of people don't. I don't buy it because I don't like cakes Or coconut.
Personally, I'm going to get a Fudgy the Whale instead. That's just me. That's just the decision that I'm
Enjoy
going
your
to
Fudgy.
make.
Down in Miami-Dade County, the one of the stars of Real Housewives of Miami, which I don't think I've seen an episode of Real Housewives of anything. Like, that's just one television franchise I am completely disconnected from. I've seen people from Real Housewives appear in other things, like Traders or other reality shows where they tend to, dip in the pool of all these different franchises. But I don't know much about the Real Housewives of Miami, but this story out of Miami is kind of nuts. This lady, Lisa Hochstein,
I believe you.
She was released on bond Wednesday after turning herself into authorities following allegations she secretly recorded her celebrity plastic surgeon ex-husband during their contentious divorce proceedings. Now, there are some things that could have been avoided here by the ex-husband. I don't know if he's just trying to have things amicable, even though it definitely says contentious divorce proceedings.
All right.
But they say she was greeted outside the jail by friends and two of her Real Housewives castmates as she left, saying, "I just love them all. I love my fans." She sent them well wishes, but she didn't comment directly on the allegations. What are the allegations, you ask?
What are the allegations?
On March 19th, court filing states that Hochstein and her ex-boyfriend, Jody Glidden, are each facing one count of interception of wire, oral, or electronic communications. They say that Lisa Hochstein asked her ex-husband if she could borrow his silver 2023 Mercedes Maybach GLS 600 SUV because she was thinking of purchasing her own.
Yeah.
When she borrowed the car, her and her boyfriend at the time placed a listening device, a recording device in the driver's seat floorboard. So she could see what this guy's been talking about, who he's been talking to.
Okay.
According to their warrant, a total of 98 recordings were recovered from the device, including a conversation between Lisa Hochstein and her ex-boyfriend Jody Glidden as the device was being wrestled into place. In addition to conversations between Lenny Hochstein and others he spoke to while in his vehicle, a detective recovered deleted recordings from the device, including a recording of Lisa Hochstein and her boyfriend at the time, Jody Glidden, engaged in intimate activities in the car.
Oh my
Not
God.
only did she borrow her ex-husband's car, she screwed her boyfriend in it after turning on the recorder that they placed under the floorboard to spy on this guy.
Wow.
And their divorce was finalized.
These two did not end well, it seems.
I'm getting a lot of a lot of red flags for this woman, but I'm sure that's just one of the things that makes her a perfect specimen for the Real Housewives of Miami. Elsewhere in Florida, they are just making it rain jail sentences, prison sentences, and for good reasons. Disturbing videos, they say, have landed a Central Florida man in prison for over 200 years. A Lake County man has been sentenced to that time in prison after being caught in an undercover sting operation nearly 3 years ago. In a release on Wednesday, officials said the man, identified as John Marchluski, was convicted on 15 counts of possessing child pornography. Case stems back to May of 23 when the 5-day sting ended with him and several other men being taken into custody. Of the disturbing videos, this is State Attorney Bill Gladson speaking. The defendant possessed of very young children being abused. One was less than 2 years old, just a toddler. The mere thought of someone abusing a toddler or any child is sickening, and that's why he gets 200 years in prison.
Yep, that's an under the prison type of guy for me. And I won't say much about this, but there was a very vile story this week about a FedEx guy.
Oh, the one you tweeted about?
Oh, my. Did you read that? Did you read that tweet?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Oh, just so you know, I'm not for the death penalty personally. I think people should get life in prison. I don't want the state to make the mistake even one time of accidentally executing an innocent person. And I think there is the possibility that not only has happened, but does happen. And that aside, the person who did this in that FedEx case and the person you just mentioned don't care what happens to him.
Nope.
Don't care what happens to the vile scum of the earth, disgusting subhuman individuals that do these things. I say let the parents of the victims rip them limb from limb, and it's not going to make me shed a tear.
Let them choose. Let them be creative in how they dispatch with this particular man. Also getting a lot of time in prison, the leader of the blood-affiliated sex money murder gang, which is a gang I was previously unaware of, has received 5 life sentences after his capture earlier this year. In a release date, officials say the man identified as Hernando Thompson Jr., 36, of Orlando. He was convicted after a Polk County trial back in January due to his leadership role in the gang. Jury deliberated for only an hour in a case that found him guilty of racketeering, conspiracy to commit racketeering, and 3 counts of directing criminal gang activities. I'd never heard of that charge before. Directing criminal gang activities is landing this man with 5 life sentences. It's weird that just like that list of things, probably some awfulness in there, as gang activity tends to be, but just on paper doesn't sound anywhere near as bad as the 200 counts for, or the 200 years for the man with all the child porn.
Yeah.
When you were growing up, were you much of a car person as a kid?
Not really, no.
You had friends that were like, I have my dream car mapped out. It's a this year Mustang with this trim and this color and everything.
Oh, God. My friends down the street would take their own engines apart and they would do all of that stuff.
I read this next story and it immediately reminded me of my friend Donnie in high school because his dream car was a Supra. Like he loved the Supra. I don't even know who makes the Supra. Is that the make?
Toyota.
Toyota Supra. Okay, Toyota Supra. He bought one. He was fixing it up for the longest time. I don't know how much he actually drove it, but he loved that Toyota Supra. And a woman who's been pulled over and arrested under the new super speeder law. It says she was drunk here too, but she was going 123 miles an hour in her Supra, and she told police she thought she could because of the Supra she was driving. Sierra Lopez blew a .23, almost 3 times the legal limit, when she was pulled over in Bonita Springs. Lee County Sheriff's Office body camera footage shows a deputy ordering her to turn the car off and get out of the car, which she said belonged to the male passenger. When she was asked why she was speeding, Lopez blamed it on the car, saying, quote, "Honestly, it's just because he has a Supra, and then I thought it was all right to go fast and everything," end quote. A deputy responded, "I'm aware, but unfortunately, turn around for me." She was booked into jail on the speeding charge, and I'm guessing a DUI. It doesn't say much about the DUI part, but they definitely got her on that new excessive speeding law just because she thought she could because of the car. A South Florida woman is facing a stack of felony charges after investigators say she helped pull off one of the more brazen auto loan fraud schemes in recent Miami memory. 38-year-old Dunia Sierra walked into multiple car dealerships over 8 days, lied about her income, and drove away with a small fleet of vehicles, including a Corvette Stingray, a BMW i8, and 3 Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Man, she did not want to slum it. She went for the high-dollar items. Let's see. A woman twerks for tips at 7-Eleven, gets arrested instead of paid. That was Veronica Erica Whitsett of Fort Lauderdale.
He said twerks for tips. Just going to want to reiterate what he said there.
That's exactly what I said. Twerks for tips.
Yes, there we go.
Officer said the Whitsett was pressing her buttocks against the store counter and doing a shaking motion before extending her hands toward the responding deputy and asking for money. Apparently, she was also soliciting customers for cash and drugs. She was arrested at the 7-Eleven. Fort Walton Beach, a woman has been arrested after falling off her bike. A toddler went to see if she was okay. She threw beer bottles at the toddler. The doctor, I think we talked about this guy a while back. The doctor, what?
It's just the act of going after the toddler is just
I'm okay. Are you okay?
Just all right.
The doctor that we talked about, he's been charged in the 2024 death of a patient. I think we talked about this guy when it happened, but he's been indicted for second-degree manslaughter. Almost 2 years after the death of William Bryan, his patient, a 70-year-old veteran who died on the operating table because it was scheduled to be a laparoscopic splenectomy, but the doctor removed his liver instead of his spleen, which you kind of need to survive. That doctor will be facing the second-degree manslaughter charges. And last but not least, in this week in Florida, well, a 16-year-old boy is facing attempted manslaughter and possession of a firearm after a 15-year-old was shot in the chest and rushed to the hospital during what they described as play fighting. Just a little bit of play fighting. The victim attempted to push the gun away, gun discharged, and now a 16-year-old boy is in for some serious trouble. That's it, friends, for This Week in Florida.
Thank you, C-Lane. Boy, we have a lot to get to before the end of the show, including this cruise lawyer that got his client $300,000 when she had 15 shots of tequila. The argument over personal responsibility or is the cruise ship to blame. I want to see if there's something about that story we were missing. What was it? And we'll get into that in the power hour of the show. And we got a lot more to take care of before that. We'll do a round of feedback when we come back and a huge change. This is a big, big change for a huge company that we've all heard of. But I was surprised that they made this move. And I'll tell you what's going on. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
You won't be running into any surprises or accidents on the major roadways tying you up or slowing you down. Although the roadways are starting to get busy, expect some congestion on I-95 near I-4. On I-4, there's slowdowns through the city. Expect to get caught up in some congestion through that amusement park area between Osceola Parkway and Apopka Vineland Road. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm...
Hello. Oh, I didn't notice this. When TNJ Chat plays the gifts, they actually show up on the chat stream. I did not know that. It's kind of fun, though, if I'm honest with you. Oh, shoot. Hang on. Stand by. Stand by, everybody. Grab something to hold on to.
Spring allergy season is here. If you're like most of us, you're suffering from allergies, maybe even sinus infections. Let me guess. Itchy.
Stand by.
Sinus headaches, sneezing, runny nose. Aspire Allergy and Sinus can help, so you can start treating the source instead of just masking the symptoms. Aspire has helped thousands just like you with solutions that actually work. Don't spend another season.
Shallow's not my name with the 4 gifted subs. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support. There's 2 of those left right now, thanks to Shallow. Go get those gifted subs right now over on the newsjunkie.com. Oh, that's so funny that your gifts show up on the chat sidebar. I didn't even think about that. Big thanks to Shallows. Appreciate that. If you want to gift subs to secret shows, you can do that over on thenewsjunkie.com. Just hit that gift icon. They're burning points over on TNJ Chat for these gifts. Don't forget, you can chat all day long. Community is growing. More and more messages every day. I'm seeing more and more names over there. I love it. I think you'll have fun. Pop in, join the community at chat.thenewsjunkie.com, all right? Chat.thenewsjunkie.com. Kurt says we have gifts now? Yeah, on TNJ Chat, yeah. What a week. Eating my Mo chicken parm? Nice. Oh, just in case you were wondering, Disc Camp, headed up by AJ Soup, is this weekend. A gathering of listeners, and from what I can see, you guys are going to eat the best damn food I've ever seen in my life. I swear to God, if I wasn't in the week from hell, facing the weekend and the next week from hell, I would absolutely be out there. The hot dog bar alone is enough to drag me to Disc Camp, were I to be able to pull myself away from the mess I'm entangled in. Disc Camp. This weekend. Discamp2026.com for the details. Discamp2026.com for the details. The gifts are killing me, man. I gotta find a way to display these more during the breaks. I'll work on that for next week. More screen time for TNJ chat with these gifts next week. 100%. Some of them are so borderline. Jesus. What did he say? All right, we're coming back.
With love. Welcome to Delicious.
2%. That's the number of people who take the stairs over an escalator. I'm Michael Easter. Twice a week on my podcast, 2%, I give you practical advice to live a more meaningful life.
Don't ask for easy. Don't demand easy. Put yourself through some hardships, and you will come out on the other side a happier, more fulfilled, healthier person.
Listen to 2% on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search 2%. That's TWO% to start listening.
Win $25,000 in free impact windows from Maurice Windows. Text TRUST to 20129.
Filling you in on the shocking details. Just try not to pass out. This is the news.
With us. Thanks for being part of the world's most viral newsroom. And we got to talk about some weird stuff. We absolutely have to talk about some weird stuff. We'll get into all this in a moment. Learn more about the show over at thenewsjunkie.com. The doctors are out of control. The gas prices and stock market stuff is out of control. We're all over the place right now, baby. It's getting wild out there. And the Dow almost got to the 50,000 mark again. We were there, and then Pam Bondi did the thing, and then we were definitely not there for a while. But it looks like some people think this whole Iran war might be a wrap before you know it. And it looks nice and green going into the weekend. The weekend brings us good tidings with the markets going up like 1,000 points on Friday. And really, really good turn there. Honestly, if we could get out of the deserts and get out of any kind of wasting American taxpayer dollars on extended wars anywhere like we have wanted to do in our nation's past, I'm all for it, baby. Let's bring our money back to the United States of America. Let's see that gas go down. You know what I mean?
Let's bring our children home.
Let's see those stocks go up and the gas go down. That's what I want to see out there on a week like this. But that was one of the things grabbing people's attention. The other one was what happens in the world of doctors and people helping other folks look a little bit better. And sometimes I see a headline like this and I go, are you serious? It's my theory, and this might not be one of my better theories. I have some excellent ones, by the way.
You also have some dog-ass theories. Yeah,
I don't.
buddy.
Name one. What's the dog-ass theory that I have?
It's so bad I can't say it.
I have so many theories, folks. He's downgrading them. Like, for instance, my theory on why celebrities like Leonardo DiCaprio only want to date women who are 25 or younger is that you never really feel a certain age. You know, you don't age like you think you will. So you feel the way you're represented with people around you. So if you hang out with older people all the time, you feel older. You see their faces. You don't see yours all the time. You see all your old friends' faces, and you're like, yep, I'm old now. I'm gray. I'm old like that. And if you date 25-year-olds, you're looking at a 25-year-old the whole time. That's what the desire is. That's a theory, and it's a pretty good one. My theory on this world is that I think there's going to be a whole bunch of women in probably 10 years or so who still have these big giant asses who are like, what do I do with this? What? I knew immediately. I'm like, these women are getting work done on their ass ends, and this is something you sit on. It's just a very awkward place to get some work done. And it became so ever present. I was like, there's going to be a lot of women walking around with this that want to reverse this. Just like we had a whole bunch of women who went in the 90s and got very large breasts. Then afterwards, they decided, don't want those no more. I want to change those out. I want to swap them out. I don't know if that's coming back now, but I know without a doubt it was a big deal to go get that surgery done. And now it's starting to get maybe a little bit dated when you have that kind of work. This will do the same thing. I can't believe that anybody's doing this to begin with. But the story from Fox 10 says rib remodeling is taking hold.
Really?
The plastic surgery trend that is taking off.
It's like, it's a part of the body that I don't know that I've ever looked at a woman and gone like, oh man, she has got terrific ribs.
Woo! Look at them. Look at them ribs. Not me either. I'm with you. But this, I guess, is something that people are taking to do. And I don't know if they're taking out ribs. Let's learn something here. Let's see what they say in the story.
Arizona.
Like Marilyn Manson?
Yeah. Fox 10 did a story about this, and this is becoming more and more popular at the moment. And they went out there to talk about people getting this rib work done. Rib remodeling is what they call it.
A plastic surgeon is one of the first to offer a new procedure called rib remodeling.
What are we
This
doing?
one's going to get a lot of reactions. I talked with a Valley woman who says that she loves how she looks now, but plenty of others say this seems like a step too far.
Yeah,
She
I'd say
says
so.
the before and after results speak for themselves.
I feel completely normal, completely fine. It's just my waist is just smaller.
Why are you
She
blurred
doesn't want
out?
to show her face.
They blurred her entire body, not just her head. This is for those of you watching on YouTube and Twitch. Take a
I'm
look.
so happy with the procedure I got. I feel totally normal. Everything is fine.
The woman who got the rib remodeling. Look, show this again, C-Lane. She's completely blurred out. You can't see anything. Well, why are you doing this? You're not proud of the work?
Smaller.
She doesn't want to show her face or give her name. We'll explain why in a minute.
You're basically scoring it until you get through that cortex.
Dr. Orrin Tesler at Define Plastic Surgery in Scottsdale described a new type of procedure he performed on her. It's called rib remodeling.
Why?
A plastic surgery trend that changes the shape of the ribs to create an hourglass waist.
Sometimes just a little deflection, you can get 2 to 5 inches of narrowing of the waist.
It starts with a small needle that leaves no...
Okay,
That does not look like a small needle. That is false.
They said a small needle, and they brought out something that looks like it's from medieval times. This thing looks like it would go through your entire body in one fell swoop here. What are we doing? Now we're taking out our ribs. Ladies, C-Lane is right about this. And ladies, I want to hear from you. You're going to the front of the line. I want to know if any of you actually want to do this. Tracy says this is so dumb. I agree, Tracy. But I hope women are going to line up with you and say, like, why are you doing this? This is unhinged that people would do this to begin with. I don't want any woman doing this. I've never heard of a guy in my life who's gone, you know what I really like? A woman with a real nice rib cage.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. You know,
yeah.
like so some of the things that are most often enhanced are like the things you search for in porno. You know, like if you're going for your categories, if you're a tease man, you're a tease. If you're a butt man, you're a butt man. I don't think you're looking for like a girl with extra hourglassy ribs.
Yeah,
does XXX.
That is very strange. And maybe, ladies, some of you are like, yes, absolutely. I've been waiting for this. This is what I've been waiting for. I'm invisible now after having 5 of these rib remodeling surgeries. Congratulations.
Good
did
for
it.
you.
There's Cheryl says, this is wild. No, thank you. There must be somebody lining up, though, Cheryl. Like, who is doing this stuff?
Full blurface.
The blurred lady doesn't even want to say it on the record, for God's
Use
sake.
high-frequency vibrations in order to be able to score that bone until there's enough ability to manually deflect it.
After the ribs are moved, the patient wakes up and wears a corset for at least 2 months while the ribs heal in their new position.
Oh, great. So you get this surgery done where they do an experimental procedure to reshape your ribs. And then you wear a corset for how long, did he say?
2 months or something?
For 2 months, you wear a corset, which is not good to wear to begin with. Ladies, to the front of the line. I need to hear from you now. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. So we're sent a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. That's insane. That's wild to me. I don't know who gets this stuff done. It can't be cheap either.
No.
Right?
And you're not getting any sort of assistance.
No. I wouldn't. I wouldn't want them to, for God's sake. Somebody says, "Will you thirst with human meat?" I can't believe you wouldn't do this. You've never looked at a woman's ribs and thought that was good? No, I haven't. No. I mean, I think
a whole different conversation, man.
I think I'm like most guys, in as much as you look at a woman and you go, "Is this woman a beautiful woman or not?" And then I feel like women are driven by other women and the fashion industry to do things a lot of times that most guys I've talked to in my life, ladies, I'll just tell you, have never talked about. Like, I've never sat down with a group of guys and then gone, "Well, that girl's attractive, but her eyelashes aren't 14 inches long. So, ugh." Or her nails aren't 4 inches long and shaped like spikes. Ugh. I've never heard any guy say anything about this stuff. It's always a thing that's out there, but I've never heard anybody asking for it. Let me see what else they
Maybe
say.
you're just
Hold
not
on.
talking to the right guys.
That might be true. I'm interested to hear from them too.
While the ribs heal in their new position.
You're not reducing their ability to protect you. You're not affecting your ability to breathe. It doesn't hurt anyone long term.
Our patient says the recovery is serious.
It's painful. It
Of
really
course.
is. I feel this is a procedure for someone that is really 100% like so focused on the outcome and what they're going to look like that they're just going to just suck it up.
But just a few months later, she says she's fully recovered.
All right. I have to be honest with you. I am not exaggerating here, but they're showing what she looked like before and after. And I'll get a screenshot of the before and after, all right, of this rib process. That's the new thing that women are going in to get done. I got a screenshot of the before and after. I can't even tell the difference.
I can tell the difference, but it's not that drastic. And it looks like, I mean, I don't know that you could have done this by just losing a little weight, but it doesn't look like it's worth the money.
Like if I was with person A before the rib process, I would go, "You look fantastic. You look great." And then if person B walked in, I'd go, "You guys have the same exact body." I don't see a difference. Maybe you will. I'll put this up. I'll get the link ready here over on See It Now. Take a look and tell us. Maybe you're all for this. It's going to be up on thenewsjunkie.com in the See It Now section. Whenever there's a visual on the show, since you're just kind of hanging out with us, listen, most of you, I want you to be able to see it. So rib remodeling before
there's
and after.
Article in USA Today about the procedure, and they show this woman, attractive woman, Jessica Lasher, a woman in Canada, had the procedure done about a year ago. Before she tried wearing corsets to achieve the look she wanted naturally, she saw rib remodeling as a lasting solution. Imagine her surprise when she got the rib remodeling and they're like, "You're going to have to wear some corsets for a little bit, a couple more months."
For 2 months. I couldn't imagine wearing a corset for 2 months. My God.
The first 4 weeks of recovery for her were tough, it says. It felt like having the wind knocked out of you.
Jesus. All right, quick break. When we come back, we'll see what you have to say about all of this. We got jury duty on the way, and then we roll into the power hour, the final hour of the show. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Robots don't get hungover. That's why they can't work here. Real Radio 104.1, guaranteed human.
This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by the...
Here's the thing. Here's the deal, all right? I think this whole thing is bullshit. Courtney just sent me this story about a woman with the world's smallest waist. And she got there just by wearing corsets. No surgery, just the corsets. I think it's the corsets for 2 months that is doing the small visual difference. And they're just taking your money. Look at this lady. Guys in chat, hot or not, the rib procedure? Hot or not, guys? Put me down for a not. Sean got a hat lift a few months ago. Buddy, I am in like grade A emergency. I need a haircut. You see what's going on here? I'm getting one on Sunday. Not. Her internals are erect. Not. Gross. Marla, rib remodeling surgery is $8,000 to $15,000. Jesus. Awful. Gross. Not hot. Just looks stupid. I agree. So not hot. I agree. I mean, I would, no doubt. Not. Okay. Look. Good. That super tiny waist thing weirds me out. Me too. I think it's kind of uncomfortable. Every guy out there is just looking for like an attractive person with like a, like an attractive body. And then people go, no, I think you want a body that you could put a horseshoe around my waist. I think that's what you're looking for. Nah, I'm going to pass on that. Just smoke crack, same effect. True. Folks, we should be having some special guests next week. Join us on the show. All right? Just putting that out there. Next week on the show, we'll have some special guests joining us on the show. But you don't have to keep wearing the corsets. The surgery is permanent after wearing a corset for 2 months. Yeah, I know. But my question is, the corsets can do that on their own. Are the corsets reforming your body? I think yes. And some of you might not get that, but there's a lot of stuff about Japanese women and their feet with feet binding. Has anybody ever heard of this before? And these Japanese women can make their feet about this big. Because they decided for whatever reason that like having little horse feet was the hot thing in ancient Japanese culture. And they would bind their feet because they didn't want big feet. They wanted little tiny little feet. And they would bind them up. And if you look at the x-ray of it, you're just like squishing all your bones together. Terribly dumb. Terribly dumb.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free.
My dad has a foot that big, but it's a club foot? Well, he's got to bind that son of a bitch then, right? Let's get your bind on. All right, we're coming back right now.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
you're not confused.
Welcome in, friends. You're dead in the center of the world's most viral newsroom. Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. And I hope you go over and take some time and follow everybody over on thenewsjunkie.com/share. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Make sure you follow people directly, all right? Get away from the corporate connections. Follow people that you enjoy directly, and all of the links that you need to follow everybody involved on this show is at thenewsjunkie.com/share. All right. And
your advice is not falling on deaf ears, I feel like, because I keep getting notifications like you've gained this many Instagram followers. I'm like, cool. Now I need to start posting more to make it worth it. Like I feel like indebted to them now. Like I need to make your follow a worthwhile endeavor.
You got Jackson. He's a content gold mine. This son of yours.
Is, yeah.
This little kid. You listen, Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
He's a content gold mine.
Now I have to get a clip of him saying that. Now that has become part of the ether here, I have to get a clip of him doing that.
For those of you who don't know, C-Lane will tell his son in moments when he's upset with him, he'll go, listen to me. No, listen to me. And then his son will go, no, you listen, Jackson. And it's the greatest thing ever.
It's totally adorable and absolutely infuriating.
Yeah, it's great for everybody that is not in your house.
Yeah.
For everybody else, it's fantastic. All right, don't forget, Secret Shows. You can unlock Secret Shows, the uncensored shows, available for just $2.99 a month if you're audio only, $29.99 for the year to unlock the world of Secret Shows, which gives you so many features and additional things that you're able to do over on thenewsjunkie.com, including an ad-free, high-quality version of the live stream every single day. When the show is live, you could be watching ad-free if you're a Secret Show subscriber and logged in on thenewsjunkie.com. So go check it out or gift Secret Shows to others by clicking that gift icon over on the website. All right, let's see what we got going on here. A couple of people were chiming in. I had a weird thing where I was talking during the break about something to do with parking, and I realized I have no idea what the name is for the thing. I call the whole area the parking spot. You know what I mean? Like the lines, the whole area. But I said, what's the part that you're like resting your wheels on?
In the bumper.
I see it. I've never heard bumper. Some people did say bumper. There was a whole bunch of theories on this. Here's one. Here's Daddy Two Times.
So, Sean, you asked what the curbs in a parking spot are, and those are called parking blocks. In the chat, in my head, as soon as you asked the question, I thought it was funny and said it's called a roadhead. Giggity.
Parking spot.
Chat blocked it. I did not know.
Chat blocked it?
Where has chat? What has happened to chat? I don't go in there a whole lot, but what the F happened? I remember you used to have to show peen to even enter it.
Yeah, that ain't happening no more. Now things have changed.
Is that why you call it a peak?
Yeah. Now the chat is a safe place to be for everybody. It's fun. It's a blast. I wouldn't say it's a safe space by any stretch of the imagination, but it's awesome, and I think you'll enjoy it.
I would say it's a safe space if lawyers are listening. The concrete bar in a parking spot is primarily called a wheel stop or parking block.
A wheel stop.
They're also frequently referred to as parking curbs, bumper blocks, or tire stops. I don't think I've called it any of these things. I thought it was
me either.
Yeah.
And not at all. All right, here's Insecure Walrus with a dispatch.
The absolute worst story of having to go in a terrible position, place, time that I've ever heard was something I read on Reddit about a guy who was stuck on like a corporate charter jet that seated like 12 people or less. He was there with a bunch of competitors. They were all trying to sell to this lady that was the CEO of a company, and he had a terrible gastric event. And the only bathroom on that little private plane was one of the seats.
Ooh.
The seat cover comes off of it, and there is a toilet underneath it. And there's a little shower curtain that you pull up from the floor so that while you're doing your business, everybody can see you from the nose up. I don't know if that was a true story, but it has been stuck in my brain ever since I read it about the worst case scenario.
That's bad.
Emergency.
Yeah, that I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I'd be able to do that.
You can't just pull over a plane, you know?
No, you can't. But I when you say plane and you're like, it's a 6-seater plane, I just imagine that it's got a little bathroom since you're in a private plane like that.
Okay, think about both times we've flown to the Bahamas. Were there bathrooms on those planes?
There not only was there no bathroom, I don't even think there was what this guy just described.
Or maybe there was and they didn't tell us.
Because they were like, we don't want anybody using this thing.
Yeah.
It's like when you're on an RV and the RV owners go, no, you can pee, yeah, but no number 2 on the RV. They're thinking, no number 2 on the plane. Please, these are only short flights. You're going to get to your destination. Everything is going to be absolutely fine for you. The tips of the newsjunkie.com. An Anonymous emails this show. Anonymous is talking about this bizarre story where there was an investigation on a Catholic church in North Carolina. The Catholic Church investigated itself and found that they, surprise, didn't do anything wrong. But there were some teenage girls who said the pastor who was taking their confessions was asking them leading sexual questions. That led me to say, wait, hold on. If you're doing these kind of confessions, do they usually interview you and ask you questions like, hey, have you been having sex? Have you been masturbating? That's what happened, allegedly, according to these teenage girls. Anonymous says, good afternoon. I grew up Catholic. My experience is from the 60s and 70s. You would go into the confession booth, and the priest was on the other side of the divider. You would start off by saying, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. These are my sins. The priest listened and then gave you your penance. No questions were asked at all.
It's bless me, Father, for I have sinned, and you're also supposed to say it's been this long since my last confession.
Yeah, but no one has ever said, hey, I had questions asked to me. Hey, they asked me if I was engaging in sex and if I was doing that. Nobody who has responded on that so far has said that that was a circumstance for him. Mike emails about the FIFA drama. If you missed that, I guess train rides to New Jersey are going to cost as much as $150 around the World Cup when it comes to the United States. Tickets are going for insane amounts of money, and a lot of the cities that are involved in this are saying it's too expensive, all of it. Mike says, no surprise with this garbage. FIFA is one of the most corrupt organizations on the planet. Google some of their history. They, like a lot of big sports groups, get everything handed to them by the host city and nothing in return other than increased foot traffic and spending is given back. I know millions of incomes are involved, but the way they get too many concessions bothers me. It's much like the Olympics. You don't even have to say the Olympics, Mike. It's much like the NFL, friend. Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody bends over backwards, and you go, did we really get enough out of this after all? Let us know what you think. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com.
The weird part about this FIFA story, I'm reading on NBCnews.com, and they're saying who's to blame for these $100 train tickets. The governor of New Jersey is pointing the finger at FIFA, and FIFA is saying, look at New Jersey. But I don't think FIFA has the power to raise the train tickets. I think that's more of a public works or public services thing, the New Jersey Transit Authority, perhaps. I think FIFA's right here to say, look at the governor of New Jersey.
I think one of the problems, C-Lane, from what I could tell, is, and this is not from me. This is not for me. This is from people who have been sending in feedback who are sports nuts who know what they're talking about. One of the problems, from what I could see, is that the deals for this stuff with the FIFA, with the World Cup games, the deal was made 8 years ago. So all the politicians that made that deal
are gone.
They're gone. They're not in office anymore. And now new people are in office, and they have to deal with the arrangements that were made 8 years ago. Yeah, Abraham says over on TNJ Chat, again, these contracts were signed in 2018. That was a different governor. So the new governor is like, this doesn't feel fair. Too much time has passed. We're spending millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, and it's a mess. There's few stadiums not allowing any World Cup tailgating, says Tracy. I mean, it seems like they got problems all over the place. I hope it works out for them, but it seems like they have some issues.
No tailgating. How boring do you want to be?
Yeah, that sucks. That's part of the whole experience. All right, quickly, here we go. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the news junkie.
Parking is going up too.
How much?
They say drive and park at American Dream, the only mall connected to MetLife Stadium, will offer several thousand parking spaces, typically costing $6 a piece. $225 to park at the World Cup.
See, it's ridiculous. It's like, at some point you go, only the most wealthy people are able to go see this, and it's a sport. Sport is supposed to be for most general people. Like the general audience should be able to go there. And somebody's talking about a $20 ticket. Yeah, like a $20 or $30 or $40 ticket for the whole game would be something that most families might be able to consider, but they just don't get that, unfortunately. All right, jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. After an accident, reach out to Moses DeWitt. He's there to help you in the moment and after, and you'll get yourself one of those big checks if the case is worthy of it. Go over to justcallmo.com or call 800-CALL-MO now. Anna Kepner, her stepbrother, who's now accused of killing the Florida teen on this cruise, has been arraigned in a court in Florida, a federal court in Florida. Timothy Hudson, 16, now officially charged with aggravated abuse, charges an adult, first-degree murder as well.
Are they locking him up yet?
He has the opportunity to enter a plea to those charges. He will not, I don't think, be spending any time behind bars yet. He still remains, after all of these months. Remember, he allegedly killed her on November 7th. Look where we are now. We're into the middle of April. He killed her allegedly on November 7th. We're in the middle of April, and this guy is still wandering around free. We got more stories that didn't quite make it into jury duty that we'll get to. And also, I told you a company made a big change that is something they've never, ever done before. You know this company. You're going to be surprised by this change. And for real this time, is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Make Real Radio 104.1 number one on your presets on our all-new iHeartRadio app and get cool stuff at Real Radio events. Get the app for free in your app store.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's a crash off to the shoulder getting cleared up on I-4 westbound past Lake Mary. That's causing traffic to slow down. Westbound on the beach line past Challenger Memorial Parkway, the left lane's blocked. Traffic stop and go. On I-4, you're going to get caught up in some typical delays starting to form. I-95 near I-4 is getting slow, too. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
Stand by. Hey, now might be a good time just to start that. Just start a Zoom and then give me the link for the guy. And if he pops on, he pops on. Just text or email and I'll fire it off to him. Thank you. The Power Hour has arrived, everybody. The Power Hour has arrived. Hello?
Hey.
Hey.
I went to the pharmacy.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, oh, I'll do an inventory. And they had 10 extra.
No, really? Yeah. Did you think that was going to be the outcome?
I don't know. Because I didn't want to be a narc, but...
What would you guys have done? Can I tell the people? Uh-oh. Hold on. Did you freeze? Hello? Stand by. You broke it.
Me?
Yep. Ugh. All right, hang on. Are you standing by?
I'm here.
I want you to stand by. Stand by and stand down. Okay, there we go. Halfway there. Got it. Courtney went to get some medicine yesterday. It was yesterday, right? Courtney went to get some medicine at the grocery store, at the pharmacy. And when she got back home, she realized half of her medicine wasn't there. And then she was struggling with whether or not to go back to the pharmacy and tell them that they didn't give her enough. Because then sometimes they think that you maybe you just took it or whatever.
Well, because it's a controlled substance.
Because it's a controlled substance. She's on heroin. she takes heroin. She's removing all of her ribs currently.
Yeah.
So she takes heroin for the pain. And so the medicine that she got, they left, it was supposed to be like 20 and they only gave her 10. And so she was struggling with, I probably would have just ignored it, but you went back.
I asked my mom what I should do.
I just thought immediately, I was like, well, you thought there might be somebody who was like smuggling them.
That's what my mom thought,
yeah.
too. Because she's like, you know how much that's worth on the streets?
What does your mom know about street value of drugs?
I don't know.
You don't know about street value of drugs.
I know that there's certain people that really wish they could get their hands on what I got.
Yeah, that heroin. The good stuff. So they said they found him?
Yeah, I was so nervous, though.
Why?
I don't know.
Because you thought that they were going to think you stole them.
Yeah.
But you thought they stole them.
Yeah.
But what if the twist is that the person who told you that they found the extra 10 was like the person who stole them to begin
No,
with?
because it wasn't the right initials.
No? Did they give them to you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We got 10 more heroines, everybody. Yeah. 10 more heroines. Okay. Bye. How many heroines you got in your house? Sucker? It's rocking heroines over here. 90 seconds and we're back. Dan, what's Courtney working with? None of your business, sir. But I'll tell you for $1. Barbecue Baby says they found them. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. Like, did they really locate them, or did the person go, oh yeah, they found them. They were right over here. You just dropped those out of your pocket, man. All right, we're coming back, everybody.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it free. And you're on your way to meeting your
Here we go.
4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.
My question for you, chat, is in that situation, would you have gone back or no? Half of your meds are missing. It's a controlled substance. Do you go back, yes or no? Let me know.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Need help after an accident? Just call Mo. Learn more at JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station guaranteed human. Hear it here first. Then everyone else will catch up in a week or 2 or 4. You're listening.
We'll explain what's happening in just a moment here on the show. This is what we call the Power Hour, the final hour of the show, and on a Friday, no less. Thanks for being with us. Learn more about everything happening around here on The News Junkie at thenewsjunkie.com.
Should have brought supplies to do a true Power Hour.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we could. Today would have been the perfect day. Oh, my God. Why didn't you say this earlier?
Have you ever done that?
Power hour, you do one every, is it one shot of beer every minute?
I thought it was a shot of beer every minute. I actually didn't know what it was. Like the way I learned what a power hour was is people would make like mix CDs or something where they would burn an MP3 where the song changes every minute. And when the song changes, that's how you knew to take your shot of beer. But it just seems like not fun to me.
Well, I was just going to ask if you wanted to do it next Friday. I think I've learned what you want to do.
Well, I have to drive to and from work. I can't just.
I gotta drive.
Just
Did you see?
shimmy over in my flip floppies.
Even Spider-Man drinks his beers in the car. All right, and Tom Holland. He goes to Publix. He has a pub sub. Tom Holland is Spider-Man. He's in the car with a beer.
I also think that if we were to power hour Tom Holland's beers, I don't know that you would feel much.
No. Only one way to find out, though.
I mean,
one beer per segment? No. We would do it by the rule book, like how you're supposed to do it, whatever the rules are.
Avendasaurus says the 10th shot is liquor. Every 10th shot, I guess.
Oh my God! Oh, this is going to be worse than I thought if we adopt.
I'm not doing that.
What a pussy! What? Well, I'll get them to bully you into doing it.
Did you ever have
Ghostbird says do 14 shots of liquor for the cruise line girl. If we do a tequila cruise line,
I would love to do that while we talk to the lawyer. I'd be like, who can I sue now? Who can I sue?
We've got our lure in the water for the lawyer in that cruise ship tequila case. He was allegedly going to be joining us at like 2:20 to 2:30, so it's the tail end of the show. I don't know if it'll happen or not.
We got to take this break early?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to take it early if he's not going to be there to begin with. The issue is, like, he's been on the Today Show. He's been all over the place. He's been doing all these interviews. And all I want to do is get the nitty gritty from this guy. I want to be like, hey, I read the story. I read about your client who got $300,000 plus from Carnival Cruise Lines. And it said to me that she had 14 or so shots of tequila and that they showed her on camera ordering all these tequilas, I guess. And afterwards, she wandered away and woke up. She had blacked out and fell down and hurt herself. And then she blamed the cruise line for this. And I'm like, sell me on the idea that it's not her responsibility here. There must be something that convinced this jury of these women, this jury of women in Miami, to agree with her. There must be something. So I don't know. If he joins us, the lure is in the water. We'll tell you if somebody tugs on it.
You went on a cruise recently.
I did, yes.
Yeah, the Princess Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
When you were on your cruise, did they do this thing that I think, I don't know if it's just Royal Caribbean or if it's all the cruises, where they tell you what day it is in the elevator?
No, I've seen that before I've seen it on like family cruises more, but I've never done that actually.
I've seen like TikToks or Instagram where they're like, we finally got to see it. Like they got to be in the elevator when the cruise employee
changing of the guard
changes the day. Because I remember thinking that the first time, like I went in, I thought the elevator was just named Friday. Like this is the Friday elevator. And then I got in the next day and it said Saturday. And I was like, why did they decide that this would be a thing? Like we need a feature to remind people what day it is. And we're going to put it in a floor panel of the elevator.
That is strange. CNJ Ford says if the lawyer falls through today, ditch him. Of course. I was going to ditch him before that, but we just got like a last.
Sound like my wife with the sod lady.
We got a last opportunity, so I was like, why not? Let's give this a shot. All right, let's talk about this company. And I have a way to make this work, I think. Every one of us, I don't care who you are, I don't care what platform you're listening to the show on right now, I don't care what station you're listening on, every last man, woman, and child listening to the show right now has heard of this company. Gatorade.
Yeah.
Gatorade. We have all heard of the company. It's owned by PepsiCo, and they're about to change everything. Now, here's what's going on. And I'll tell you, I got something I'm going to throw at you, Gatorade. And this is free. It's free from me to you. All right? It's been a rough week, but I'm still going to give you a free idea here. Gatorade, since its inception, which as far as I recall was like invented on UF campus or something like that, I think, right? They like came up with Gatorade, their sports drink. Somebody says Gatorade's a product, not a company. Well, it's owned by PepsiCo. So Gatorade's parent company, PepsiCo, has announced a change to Gatorade. And here's what they've announced. Every single ad campaign they have ever done since the jump has been featuring athletes. Every one of them. Football players, sprinters, baseball players, basketball stars. Every single Gatorade commercial they have ever done centered around athletes and focused on athletics. And for the first time ever, Gatorade says they're going to change that. And I give this to you for free, Gatorade. If you want to sell at least 20% more Gatorades, forget the athletes, forget the sprinters, forget all those people. Show one person who had way too much to drink last night, waking up in the morning, and Nicole's onto it already. Nicole knows. She knows what's going on. Nicole on YouTube says lemon lime. Somebody has way too much to drink in this commercial. And the next morning they wake up and they're all hungover and they crack the top on that ice cold lemon lime Gatorade for their hangover. You will sell so many more Gatorades. You've been focusing only on the fit athletic people, the athletes. If you focus on the drunks,
the fat alcoholics,
the big fat drunks, they got money too. All right? They got money. 100% this will work out. This is from the Associated Press, and it says Gatorade's owner wants more people who aren't athletes to drink the drink. This says 60 years after it invented sports drink. That's crazy to think about, too. Like, there was no category even. Just like White Claw, as far as I'm aware, was a category creator with the seltzer going through to most stores out there and everybody buying White Claws.
Was White Claw first, or did they just get the market share? Like they somehow found the perfect formula of marketing and outreach to become the number one brand in seltzers? Were they first?
Not sure. I don't know if they were first or just first to be big enough that it launched it out for everybody else.
I had a teacher in college who was a huge Apple mark. She loved, and she thought like the iPod was so revolutionary. And I was like, it was not the first MP3 player. She talked about it like it was, but they had the Diamond Rio. Like there were other players in the MP3 playing market.
Apple did that all the time, though.
Yeah, Apple just did it better, and in a way that people caught on to better.
Yeah, so 60 years after it invented sports drinks, Gatorade is making a surprising pivot. It's no longer focusing primarily on athletes. PepsiCo, Gatorade's parent company, said Thursday the brand wants to broaden its reach. You know why? This worked for somebody else. When I was younger, when I was like a teenager or in my 20s, if somebody, you guys are way ahead of it today, man. Chat is way ahead of it. If somebody, when I was younger, said Pedialyte, I was like, well, was there a baby here? A Pedialyte is for a baby. You have a Pedialyte, you give it to a little kid who's like maybe a couple years old and able to drink something different. And that's who's drinking that. But they turned the corner on this because they noticed people who were drunks were drinking the Pedialytes. And now, where's Pedialyte? It's not just on the shelf next to the stuff for babies. Hell no, it's on the 7-Eleven shelf next to every other sports drink. There's a Pedialyte now. It's made them billions of dollars. And it's kind of crazy that some of these people have left that money on the shelf.
You want a cheap party, you go to 7-Eleven and stock up on Buzzballs and Pedialyte.
True. The Buzzballs, though, I don't even know if Pedialyte can fight that off. Good God, afterwards. That's tough. The change reflects U.S. consumers' booming interest in beverages with perceived health benefits, says some of the experts here. Liquid IV and some of these other places have seen a surge in sales. A lot of people have entered the space. More than 150 new brands have got into the sports world.
Man, Liquid IV is pricey for what it is. Like you're not even getting the liquid. It's
just a powder, right?
Just a little bag of powder. If you buy Liquid IV at the grocery store, you are severely overpaying. We pretty much only buy it at Costco.
How much does it cost just for the thing at the store?
Like $12 or $13 for a 5 or 6 pack. I mean, like
it only makes 5 drinks or 6 drinks.
I think. Let me see.
People are also mentioning, like Al over on TNJ chat. I've seen a bunch of people mention this electrolyc. I don't know what that is. I've never tried that actually myself, but there's a lot of competitors out there. A lot of them have focused just on athletes. This is going to open it up to somebody else. They said instant IV is better, C-Lam. Look, they're all great. They're all great, but they want some
I'll
more
try
advertising.
it out. You know, I'll give it a shot. And
No
I'll
reason not
do
to.
the actual the hard research, you know, make sure that I drain my electrolytes the night before. And then so see how well they replenish.
Right back through. This is Jeremy, I'll say. Jeremy sends an email to tips@thenewsjunkie.com. He said, you started the show with this Amazon driver. And we did. It was this woman who posted on TikTok her Amazon delivery app and showing how many deliveries she had to do in the day. It was 300 stops or more than that. And 500 total packages, something crazy. Jeremy says, that route is crazy. I do Amazon Flex in my car. I do 2 shifts a day, 7 to 8 hours, and 70 to 90 stops per day, and I am beat. I couldn't imagine 300 stops or whatever that girl had.
Yeah, I guess we didn't really have, and I'm surprised we didn't hear from Peisenberg on this, because I didn't really have a baseline for what your typical Amazon day would be.
Maybe he's buried in packages right now. He's having a day where he's buried
and
in
delivering mail.
A real quick, great tweet. Deserves so much attention, in my opinion. I just wanted to showcase this before we go to break. This says from somebody named Mark. I saw this and I was like, "This. I don't know where this came from. It's totally out of the blue." But I go, I am with you. The best part of Sublime's "What I Got" is when they sing, "I can play the guitar like an MF in Riot," and then proceed to play the guitar as though they just learned the guitar today for that one specific section only. It's so true.
I never thought of that.
It said, I can play the guitar like an MF in Riot, and then you play some Twinkle Twinkle Little Stars on the guitar shortly after that. Fair point, Mark. That gets you all those views and points.
Like walking up to a piano and going like, stretching your neck and doing the little flexing your knuckles and then chopsticks. Bling, 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 bling.
You got to come a little harder than that. Wait, hold on. Let's take a quick break.
Yep.
When we come back, we'll hear from you. I've got these dispatches and emails lined up and ready to go. Also, about this singer that was arrested for killing a teenager out in California. What's really going on there? We'll dive into that story, too. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
That crash has been moved off to the shoulder on the beach line westbound past Challenger Memorial Parkway. Traffic's getting by a lot better now. I-4 westbound at Lake Mary. There's an accident getting cleared up off to the shoulder. That's causing traffic to slow down as well. You're going to start getting stuck in some typical delays starting to form on the major roadways, so travel with caution. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hello, welcome behind the scenes of the show.
If you're thinking about buying a new home or refinancing your existing home, listen as that mortgage guy Don hosts the Home Loans Radio Show right here on Real Radio 104.1 from 9 to 10:30 every Saturday morning. You know that
Power Hour rolls on, getting ready for today. I learned here. We should be set.
Including myself. And if you miss an
Set.
episode, it's okay. You can listen to the past 170 plus informative episodes at thatmortgageguyDon.com or wherever you download podcasts like the free iHeartRadio app. It's peace of mind.
Hey, YouTube.
So don't miss the boat. Compare your quote at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Hi, Cole. Oh, I get it. Stone Cold. Stone cold. Cole, I get it. I get it. TNJ chat, did you guys break the gifts? If so, I know why. There's an API limitation until they approve TNJ chat that limits you to like 100 requests. We probably peaked out. Give it a try again. Have you tried it within the 2 o'clock hour? It should reset. Unless you burned it out in the 2 o'clock hour. But it should reset every hour, I think. But don't worry. Eventually they'll approve the API request, and then they'll remove that limit, and it'll work seamlessly. See? See, it's back. Yeah, so it's just if you're hitting it hard, there's a request limit right now that will be removed in the next probably couple of days. You have to submit the API. We got to work on that, Sean. Are you broadcasting for Bike Fest, Sean? Yep, I'll be out there. I'm at Hunter's Husqvarna at Bike Fest, and I'll be there and at Warriors Lounge for Bike Fest. I'll be at both of those places for Bike Fest this week. Drizzle alert. How is that a thing? Sean, want me to send you some instant IV? Oh, I'm good. Thank you, though. It's very nice of you. I bet it's a great product. I'm fired up. I'm fired up too, man. I'm excited. Gifts are only for TNJ chat, not stupid YouTube. Well, you don't have to brag, but technically you're correct. Folks, one last time. A brand new secret show drops tonight. Not even tonight, this afternoon at 5 p.m. in a couple of hours, basically. 5 p.m. this afternoon, new secret shows dropping just for you. Subscribe now if you want to check it out. After the show, if you want more, if you want to go deeper into an uncensored world, hundreds of shows. You will laugh, you will have fun. Subscribe over at thenewsjunkie.com. By the way, I'll reiterate, when you subscribe to secret shows, you are not enriching iHeart. They only get a very small fraction to cover the transactions and such. They only get a very small fraction. Most of the money comes into the team on secret shows. So thank you for that. You can give secret shows over on thenewsjunkie.com. Hit that gift icon. He abandoned us for new app chat? I abandoned Noah. I love YouTube. I love Twitch. I love TNJ chat. I love all of you. Okay, we're coming back. We will be back in just a moment. The Power Hour rolls on. Look at the gifts on the screen, my God.
That's funny.
ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
It's not just a radio app. It's what's happening right now.
It's on.
On the iHeartRadio app, you're not just listening. You're in it.
You better believe it.
From breaking news to what's happening in your community.
Local, national, and world.
Live moments.
New development.
Real voices.
Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest.
Amazing prizes. Plus, talk to your favorite hosts using the TalkBack mic.
I have loved always hearing you guys.
This is where culture comes alive.
I listen everywhere on the app.
Download the iHeartRadio app today.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
The most viral newsroom on the planet is still humming along. This is
I demand it, and you should too. Hey, we got a big week coming up on the show. We got some surprises for you, some really interesting things to get to next week on the show. Make sure you're not missing a moment of the action as the show rolls on. Hey, has anybody had a conversation with Jack Bradshaw?
Have not. I have not heard from him. I know people have corresponded with him.
He's the program director here at our home station, and he will be returning from a vacation that he's been on in the last week or so. And I don't know how. I mean, he must be aware of some of the tumultuous things that have occurred in his absence.
Some people are different about respecting people's vacations. It just really kind of depends on what you do. But we try as hard as we can to sort of, you have your time. You earned it. You're planning on this. He's out with his family on a cruise. And brought the whole family. And
do you know where they went? Where they went cruising, like Mexico?
I know they went to St. Thomas, so it's a route like that. His stepdaughter, they were able to get on a boat that she's currently performing on.
Oh, that's very cool. No way. So she got a gig on a cruise ship, and then they went out there and they got did the vacation in that.
Yep,
that's amazing. So I'm glad he had fun there. But when he comes back, it's gonna be like, well, let's just see what my inbox looks like. Let's see what happened while I was going. Oh my God!
It's like, yes, I purchased the onboard Wi-Fi package. Is there any way I could turn that off? Please turn it off.
He just threw his phone. Didn't you say that? Just threw his phone right into the sea.
Somebody said that that I was talking to in the offices here. They were like, Jack probably threw his phone in the ocean. I go, there is not a chance in hell, not a snowball's chance in hell that cheap ass would throw away a perfectly good phone for some tumultuous office reasons.
Well, we'll see. We're going to find out as soon as he gets back. But it's going to be an interesting week next week on the show. Some stuff to talk about. I got some things to get off my chest. We got some things that will be happening around here. Some new segments appearing. There's a lot of developments on the show next week. And I hope you'll hang out and see what happens. Come along for the ride. Here's a couple of clips before we wrap it up here in the Power Hour today. One of them is going viral here today, 1.3 million views. This is at that same event where Trump said he wasn't a senior. Let's see what he says this time. This is at the No Tax on Tips event here.
Of American small businesses, including restaurants, dry cleaners, corner stores. What is a corner store? I've never heard that term. I know what a corner store is, but I've never heard it described, a corner store. Who the hell wrote that, please? And more.
Did it say something different? There's no way he hasn't heard of a corner store, right? Right? Like, a corner store is the most generic thing in the world. When I was young, our family, especially when we would go up to Vermont, we would have a lot of family that lived in the St. Albans area. And I loved visiting my aunts and uncles up there because even though almost everybody, all in the family was pretty poor, and St. Albans is certainly not a rich city, but they had this little house, and the house was 2 blocks away from a corner store. And my parents were like, just so you know, when we go here, just be prepared. Their house is not quite as large as ours. Keep in mind, I've shown the house that I grew up in on the show before. It's not big. It's about a 1,500 or 1,400 square foot house in the acreage. It was built by my dad and some friends and stuff. We were lower middle class.
Built your house?
Yeah, they did most of it. Like, I have photographs of me when we were laying all the concrete block and stuff, and the family, it was like a family ordeal.
You never got any manlier than that moment there.
I didn't. No,
that was peak.
I was 6. I was 6 when I peaked in my manliness. Yes. So when we go up there, we lived lower middle class in the acreage, and my mom would still be like, just beware, their house is quite small. And their house was small. I think they had a 3-bedroom, 900 and something square foot house. It was very small. But as a kid, I did not think of it as small, and I did not think down or lower of them at all. I thought they had the coolest house in the world because you could walk 2 blocks and go to the corner store. And so my parents sometimes would just be like, go, here's $5. Here's a couple of dollars. And you'd go to the corner store. His mom, my cousins, my aunt, I should say, my aunt would tell my cousin every once in a while, here, go get me my stuff. And she would give him a couple of bucks, and we would come back, and the person would give cigarettes to us kids at the corner store. The corner store would be like, oh, is that for your mom?
Did you pinch off one for shipping and handling?
No, we were too small for that. We were like, I might have been 8 or 9 or something. We weren't puffing on darts. We were just taking them.
There was my mom's aunt and uncle, or maybe the aunt was had deceased by the time I went and visited them, but they lived on Lake Erie in Ohio, in a community called Channel Grove, where it wasn't like a golf course community, but everybody had golf carts, and they would all go watch the sunset at the marina. But at the other end of the main road, they had used to be a car wash, and they converted it into a drive-through convenience store. Mm-hmm. So we would take the golf cart and just drive through this former car wash.
That's
and
awesome,
then be
man.
like, get one of these, get one of these. My mom's picking up her little Kahlua mixers.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That was a good time.
Mama Lane, you deserve it. You get them Kahlua mixers. You deserve that. Somebody said it was written coroner store. I figured there must have been something. Let's see if he says coroner. Let's see.
Millions of American small businesses, including restaurants, dry cleaners, corner stores. What is a quarter store? I've never heard that term. I know what a quarter store is, but I've never.
Maybe he's saying quarter store. Maybe it's written quarter, Quarter, because it sounds like he's saying, I've never heard of corner stores. I've heard of corner stores.
The weird part is when he corrects himself, the thing that he says is not too different than the thing that he said first. So I'm not hearing a difference in those. That's why I think it sounds like he doesn't know what a corner store is.
Well, that's time.
Millions of American small businesses, including restaurants, dry cleaners, corner stores. What is a quarter store? I've never heard that term. I know what a quarter store is.
It sounded like he said corner first and quarter second.
Yeah, it sounded like he said corner, then quarter, and then I don't know. But there you go. I know what they are, and most people do. Probably turns out he does too. Corner store is the most American thing you can imagine.
Yeah.
I love that experience, man. I didn't get that because in the place that we grew up, 49th Street, from age 6 or so to age 18, that is where I lived, on 49th Street in the acreage in Royal Palm Beach, Florida, in this very run-of-the-mill, middle-class, lower middle-class house. And I loved it, but the only problem was it's all dirt roads at that time, and their houses were few and far between. And the closest grocery store was about, I think, maybe 2 or 3 miles down the road. It's pretty far away for a grocery store at that time. Now they're closer, but it was pretty far away at that time. And for me, you didn't have the access to do that. There was no place that you could walk to, and you could go and you have all these little shops and stuff. I have a corner store to visit. Courtney and I absolutely love where we are now. And one of the reasons is specifically because there's everything that we could think of around us. Like everything that we could think of is around us. There's nothing that's outside of like half a mile from where the house is located. And I love that. But as a kid, we didn't have all of those different options. So for me, man, I would go over to any friend's house if they could walk to a store, or if there was like a restaurant or a Subway or a McDonald's, God forbid, near them.
I stopped at the store on the way to your house last night, and I was in an Uber, so I had to have the Uber guy. I had to put the stop in the app, and so we stopped at the store, and then we went to your house. And the Uber driver looks at the map and he goes, "Well, you could have just walked the rest of the way." I'm like, "I'm not walking the rest of the way, man. I paid for Uber comfort."
Big Doug on Twitch says, working at IBM at that time was not lower middle class. I love when you guys tell me here's what it was like. So my dad worked at IBM. That is true. When my dad first got the job at IBM, he was a line worker, putting like the chipsets together and stuff. And then they started funding his schooling and whatnot, so that he could go get a master's in business. And he was in after that. I've talked about it before, but I have no idea what my father did. I think he did like contracts for IBM, but he wasn't a very high up position. At his highest level, when he retired, I think my dad was making about $75,000 a year, which is not to say that that's bad money or was bad money then. But when I was growing up and we were in this house, my dad was just first starting out at IBM, number one. And number two, and perhaps most importantly, my mother didn't work for most of my life. We were a single income household. So the job that my father had was all that we had going on. That's all that we had to kind of stretch us out. And I'm not saying I was poor. We didn't want for a lot of things. But, certainly, trust me, if I say it was lower middle class, I lived the experience. 100% that was the case in this circumstance.
It's so weird that your dad and my dad both worked for IBM, and we don't really know what they did. My dad's title was Financial Systems Analyst, and my stepmom would go, I don't know what he does.
Financial Systems Analyst was yours?
Yeah.
Procurement. It was what I told you is what my dad did. Procurement. That sounds like what a drug dealer says their job is.
Or somebody
what do you do?
Or somebody that has a fake job, like in Seinfeld, when he had that fake company that did, was it imports and export? What did he say?
Yeah. My dad had an import-export company, too. It's just that it never existed, really. He thought he could get free samples from everybody. Again, this is what we would do to try to get a little bit more coming into the household.
Vandalay Industries.
Industries.
Importer, exporter.
My dad was in, what did I say it was called? Procurement, which it does sound like you procure marijuana for the kids in the neighborhood, too. It sounds very similar. Or here's a couple of things that we didn't get alert. Yet. I wish. The singer David, or D4VD as it's read here, has been arrested on suspicion of killing a 14-year-old girl whose decomposed body was found 7 months ago. 7 months ago, they found this girl. He was doing the singer David, who you probably don't know, the 21-year-old pop singer, David Burke, or D4VD David. He was, at the time, showing up with this teenager on his live streams, and he was writing songs about fantasizing about killing people, and then she ends up missing. Then they find her decomposed body in his abandoned Tesla, and then he's still on tour for a while. He's still out there performing and stuff. Not until just yesterday was he finally arrested on suspicion of killing this girl. 7 months ago.
So 7 months ago for David there. Yep. And then about 4, 5, 6 months for the stepbrother of Anna Kepner.
Yep.
Are we just making sure we're extra thorough here? Like, want to make sure we have these guys dead to rights?
Yeah, you better hope people who have fatal diagnoses aren't hearing about this. They go, whoa, wait, I could kill somebody? I only got 7 months to live. All right. I really hate some guy I work with. Here goes nothing.
Dude, you only work with one guy.
No, not you. I'm talking about another guy.
Yeah, okay.
Somebody else on the show I'm talking about.
But, dude.
Different person on the show. When we come back, final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to turn everything into the end of the show here on Friday. I don't know why I said turn everything into.
Yeah,
to wrap everything up for. Today I learned to wrap everything up
Still
for.
thinking about killing me? Just really stopped you in your tracks. Forgot what you were going to say.
Bad idea right now. All right, we're back with the final dispatch of stories that didn't make the cut, and today I learned to wrap everything up for a Friday. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Sure, AI can mimic emotions, but it'll never understand the primal rage of spilling hot coffee on yourself while on air. Real Radio 104.1. Guaranteed human.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your Central Florida forecast. And for our Friday, it's certainly going to feel like a Friday forecast here across Central Florida, with temperatures warming their way to near 90 degrees. And Orlando will come just shy of that 90-degree threshold with a high of 89 degrees. We'll be expecting, though, plenty of sunshine, and that will carry us into this weekend as well, as those temperatures do surpass the low 90s. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. The only thing better than grabbing a Blizzard treat on a warm, sunny day would be snagging a second one for just 99 cents with the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. It's buy one Blizzard treat, get another one for just 99 cents when you order in the DQ app. DQ. Happy tastes good. For limited time at participating U.S. locations.
Hello, it's time to wrap up the show, everybody. Thank you for being here. Going to be a very interesting week next week. Thank you for hanging out with us. It is time to rate the show. After the show, I will be posting the secret show. It'll be up by 5 p.m. You can watch that on the new Apple TV app. Search for Secret Shows in the Apple TV store, the App Store, and get that. Or you can watch on thenewsjunkie.com. Rate the show. 10 out of 10 is a winner. 1 out of 10 is a loser. Let's see what you got for us on the way out today. Do I have time, or do I have to get to the alert? 9.2 TNJ chat gifts out of 10. 10-yard irritable bowel movements out of 10. Palaman update was a doozy. It sure was. 9 out of 10 trips to Oviedo for Sean. 10 out of 10 poops on Sean's lawn. 8.4 bent ribs. God, don't make me think about that. Be right back. Ah. You look hilarious. 10 plus. Always a 10 out of 10. Well, you're always a 10 out of 10. What a cutie. Everybody, thank you. Thank you for your support. Thanks for being here for the streams. Thanks for hitting that like button on YouTube. The way forward is going to be something that we all go through together next week. There's going to be some exciting things. And I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you. It is why I wake up and get ready for this show every single day, and why I will never stop, because you guys are there each day to hang out with. So I appreciate that immensely. Every last one of you is Chatter of the Week. Every last one of you is Chatter of the Week, except for Twitch. Sorry. Every last one of you on YouTube, and every last one of you on TNJ chat. Nobody on Twitch.
He doesn't have the time or the strength to reach safety. Now, thanks to our friends at the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, a mobile clinic brings doctors and medicine right to his home, providing care that he would not receive, especially in wartime. As Israel's Holocaust Remembrance Day approaches, we honor survivors like Phineas, not just with words, but with action. And if you give $45 right now, you can rush these life-saving essentials to the most vulnerable that are in a fight for their very survival. Call now. Please be as generous as you can. It's 888-488-IFCJ, 888-488-IFCJ. Check them out online at ifcj.org. That's ifcj.org today.
Got something to say?
Love you.
Well, just tap the red talkback mic on the free iHeartRadio app.
Let's go.
Requests, contests, or just to say hi.
Hey, this is Heather.
Get your voice on the air fast.
I got the windows rolled down, the moonroof open.
Open the iHeartRadio app and try it now.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about Duke's Mayo. It says here it's got twang. That sounds good. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
If you want to buy or sell your home quickly, call Nick Lee. Download a free home buyer's guide at thenickleegroup.com.
Three best friends diving into the deep end of internet culture. This
Cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Friday. What a week. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. And you can go learn more about the show over at thenewsjunkie.com. Couple of things on the way out. Number one, there is a secret show that is dropping today, as per usual, on Fridays at 5 p.m. Those go live on the website. You can watch or listen on thenewsjunkie.com. That's one thing you need to know. And we do those live. We actually stream them on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. usually, but they're released on Fridays at 5 p.m. So if it's Friday and 5 p.m., go get the latest secret show. If you're not a subscriber, go subscribe over on the website, thenewsjunkie.com, to unlock everything that comes along with secret shows. And the other thing I wanted to tell you about is please drop into TNJ chat. The community there is growing. It's spreading. It's so fun. I really dig it. There's so many features over there. You can gamble. You can hang out with people. You can chat. You can post photos called peaks. You can post GIFs now. You can battle with other people. You can play Family Feud. There's so many things, and it's just fun. So if you want some old-fashioned fun and something away from the algorithm that's warping your brain all over the place, I would suggest go over to chat.thenewsjunkie.com when you get a chance. Create an account. It literally takes 2 seconds to create an account. You start getting points for chatting immediately. The points can be redeemed for all sorts of fun stuff. And all day long, all around the clock, you can hang out with some real fine people over there. So go check it out this weekend. Chat, thenewsjunkie.com. All right. Das Hefe says that intro needs updating. There's a couple of things like that. Look, I'm not interested in doing anything in 5 seconds. The show is in flux a little bit, and that's the way it's going to be. And I think you'll see some stuff next week that you'll find interesting. So just stick with us. It's going to be a real...
Would have seemed pretty messed up if we just updated it immediately.
Yeah, what the hell? It's like, yeah, here we go. Yeah, that's not. I don't think that's. I don't think that's the right decision. So at some point in time, a lot of different stuff will change, but we shall see. In the meantime, tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Tom, excuse me. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. I'm at the end of my rope here. Somebody says
I am too, because it's hot as hell in here.
Oh no, is the AC really broken in there?
Yeah, it's broken in all three of these rooms.
Jesus, man. The whole thing are you sure it's not where they were trying to juice more money out of the company?
I'm not totally sure, but I think they put Lube up on the roof to kind of check it out there.
It's the engineer, folks, for those of you who don't know. My favorite part is I learned not that long ago. I forgot who I was talking about. And they said, so iHeartRadio has this office building, and they're allowed to, with the deal that we have, use the air conditioning as they see fit at iHeart during work days, but not on weekends. They turn the air conditioning off on the weekends, and they just burn you up in there. And so when the AC goes off, you don't know if it's that or you don't know what it is. But right now, Sealand's saying like it's work hours and it's a sweat box.
It's a little stuffy, just a little bit.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. All right, let's see what else we have. I'm sorry, B email, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Surfside, which sells alcoholic teas and lemonades, just came out with something called Super Light, LYTE, which is basically Gatorade with vodka. Delicious. Best of both worlds, says B.
Now we're getting into Borg territory. Do you remember the Borg?
Oh, I'll never forget the Borg.
Where they were mixing liquid IV with vodka. I mean, you're just kind of, it's like a speedball of electrolytes.
Yeah, it's an experience. It's not an experience I want to repeat necessarily, but it's an experience.
It wasn't the worst thing in the world.
Fans of the show are doing something that they call Disc Camp this weekend. AJ Soup has been doing this for a while. Hang on, did she speak in this video? Is this her?
We are here at Manatee Hammock Campground.
Nice.
We're beginning to get set up for Disc Camp weekend.
Liquid IV is pricey.
That's us.
Hear me.
Listening to Friday's show.
You guys got good stuff to say.
So if you want to come out and visit us tomorrow and meet people from the News Junkie community, it's discamp2026.com.
It's beautiful out there.
Come out and meet some people from the TNJ community. We are happy to have you.
That's very cool. Love that, AJ Soup. Discamp2026.com, I think, if you're a camper and you like the show and not weird. Those are all the requirements that they have out there. Good people. And the food, I saw the spread of food that she's bringing out.
Oh, yeah. Last year, they had like a feast out there at Disc Camp.
Hell? Yeah, I don't know. I swear to God, if things weren't so crazy in my life right now, I would 100% be out there. The food alone looks so good. Oh, all right. Discamp2026.com, I guess, is where that's at.
I like camping with dads with the disposable income who like to one-up each other because
that's the best.
Every year you show up and you're like, Mike's got the good gadgets. Mike, he knows what he's doing. And I showed up to camp one year and I was like, this is basically tailgating, but I sleep here. So I brought all these things, and my contribution to our annual camping trip that I haven't even been on in a couple of years was the kitchen. Like just having a tent that's just for your food prep and all your coolers and grills and stuff, and just gadgets aplenty. Now I'm sure somebody in Disc Camp probably has
camping.
Some solar panels and some chargers and stuff out there.
Yeah,
we could have a good time.
All right, let's get the hell out of here. It's time to wrap it up for the week. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Friday, April 17th, 2026. Today I Learned the guy from this series.
James Bond.
That's correct. James Bond. His preference of shaken and not stirred as a martini is very controversial in the bartending world.
Because it bruises the gin.
Drinks containing only alcoholic ingredients are almost always stirred to preserve clarity and avoid over-dilution, among other things. Also, in the James Bond universe, loved this story that I saw this week. Amazon came out and said, Amazon's new James Bond movie is amazing. And I thought, wow. Did Amazon...
Thanks for the Amazon review of the Amazon movie.
This is like the Catholic Church investigating themselves.
We didn't do
again.
anything wrong.
Yeah, Amazon looked into their new James Bond movie, and they're like, this is good. We really knocked it out of the park here, everybody.
Gonna have to watch it to see if we can trust Amazon.
Dogs get authentically jealous and try to break up the connection between their owner and other dogs. And finally, today learn this lady.
Bonnie Tyler?
No, Linda Belinda Carlisle. That's a hard one. That's tough.
Wouldn't have gotten that.
Belinda Carlisle of the Go-Go's and this song, Heaven is a Place on Earth, fame, started her musical career as a drummer for a band, a hardcore punk band you may have heard of called The Germs. She was cool before she was pop.
Ladies and germs.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We're back on Monday. Same time, same place. Missed any of the show? Get the podcast at thenewsjunkie.com.